So we do what's handle on the mic from Leo's Paradise. Random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, plan stream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels, massive in Zoro sword swings. Gaming pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting flip screen, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. The rails, no script, just a freestyle rhyme. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
Welcome back to the lunch hour. How are all you vital idols doing? So much to talk about, so little time. As you can see, my voice is mostly back. I'm still going to be running a relatively short stream today, like 2.5 hours, just to give it a little bit more time to heal back up. Tomorrow, we'll be coming back with the long stream. But we got so much to talk about. Obviously, we got what's in the title card, the thumbnail. You know, Starmer being retarded, Trump taking shots, Leaflit just demolishing feminism. But also, man, we ain't talked about the Hassan Piker Cuba stuff. We ain't talked about the Hassan Piker Cuba stuff. And I don't know how this hasn't been brought up. Mainly probably because I've been away and been busy. But it gotta happen. Before we do, it's the lunch hour. I hope you all getting that protein. Hope you're eating healthy. You know your boy got that green tea. No sugar, but a bit of lemon and honey. Trying, rest the vocal cords a bit. Who have we got in this bitch? Let's take a look. Who all we got up in this bitch? I know there's several of you. We got the Ghost of Valhalla. Shout out. Clipboard20 is here. You'll love to see it. What is up, Clipboard20? St. Hugo, the IRL Albert Wesker. I almost said Alex Wesker. That is not the correct character. Jin T Maxi, shout out. Gal Kerrymon is here. Fractal Mage. Yeah, the HBO Harry Potter show trailer. If that drops while we're live, then we'll watch it. If that drops while we're live, maybe we will watch it. Thallow Greenskin, shout out. Butterframe and Gold is here. Nick Havoc is up in this bitch. Straight Sith Male. Trying to finish the video I put out. Hey, you can go back and watch the video when the stream is finished. I would appreciate it though. I like that video. I had fun recording that video. Let's see who else we got. Divine at Duckworth is here. Slipstream. Fallen Angel. Zan Noir. Tubby Tank. We got Molly. Gal Kerrymon coming in with a 99-cent super sticker. Just whipping that banana. Just coming in and whipping that banana. Shout out. Thank you for the 99-cent sticker. Yeah, Feminazis from Fallen Angel. Black Hawk is here. Yes, that is my favorite kind of hawk. Absolute favorite kind. Let's see. There are far more gross things in the world than just vomit. Yes, there are. Yes, men should have dominance over women, Zan. Absolutely. All right. We're going to get into this shit. Like I said, we got a lot to cover and little time to do it. But before we do, I need to know with y'all's super chats, which is worse, feminists or Brits? That's why we got the feminists versus Brits ringside down there. And I need to show you guys a headline. I don't really cover articles much on this show, but I need to show y'all a headline. Quadruple amputee cornhole pro fatally shot friend in passenger seat. I need to know. I read through this article, and it doesn't really clarify anything. It is just several paragraphs. Not even several. It is effectively just a few paragraphs saying what exactly the title is. Quadruple amputee cornhole pro fatally shot friend. Yeah, it's Twisted Jack. Stumped. Correct. Same. Fallen Angel. How? I don't know. I don't know. And the article doesn't really explain. It explains they got into a dispute and that she allegedly was shot. Doesn't explain how. So yeah, I thought I just had to share that with you guys. Thought I had to share it. Thought that it was absolutely hilarious. That is certainly a title. Let's get into some content proper. 52 you guys watching right now, which means I better, good goddamn, see 52 likes. Let's open up the stream by taking some shots at Hassan Osama bin Laden, Epstein, Diddy, Dog, Shocker, Fucker, Piker. Let's go.
I basically landed in Cuba and spent every moment that I had. I didn't participate in a lot of the stuff and any of the stuff really that the Progressive International was doing, which is why it's also like additionally funny. While they're on the one hand, they're lying about like the events that took place. On the other hand, they keep saying I was, a principal participant of these events that took place. I wasn't. I was actually hanging out. I
could be wrong, but from what I'm hearing, there's literally footage of him hanging out, drinking, partying with all these people. Now, I don't know if it's the exact same, like, liberal, club that he's referring to. But he was definitely out there partying with some motherfuckers. I'm pretty sure it's on video.
Didn't do anything with Progressive International, even though I love those guys and they did fantastic work out there, because I locked in with Belly of the Beast, the independent news outlet in Cuba, one that...
homie, I'm sure that he is aware of this, but he's not going to tell you guys because, he has to continue brainwashing his followers and his audience. There's no such thing as an independent news agency in a communist dictatorship. Homie is in Cuba. Yeah, independent journalism isn't exactly a thing when your land is ran by fucking commies. El Mervoth coming in with a two-banger. Welcome back. Hassan should be kicked out the U.S. Well, first of all, thank you for the welcome back. Second, I agree. Stripped of his citizenship and bounced the fuck out. Sorry, don't care if it's harsh. You don't get to bring on terrorists as a guest on your show, endorse their actions, talk about how, we as the American people believe in them, softball questions, talk to the, again, known terrorists about anime, threaten to kill sitting senators, whether you disagree with them or not. Like, needless to say, correct. Renounce his citizenship, bounce him all the way back to Turkey.
I really, really leaned into. I mean, they're fucking incredible. Basically, I spent every moment just conducting interviews, like talking to regular Cubans, talking to people, talking.
Okay. Prove it. Show us. What did you talk to? What did they say? You got any proof?
To people that are doing incredible work and investigating like how this complex system of restrictions has actually harmed Cuban production every step of the way.
No, I'm pretty sure what harms Cuban production is the fact that fucking commies. The fact that, like, I don't know what you know about communism, Hassan, despite the fact that you simp for it all day, every day. But one of the core methods, one of the core ideologies is seizing the means of production. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of restrictions on said production.
Kneecap participated in one of the many daily festivals that happen during the day. Okay? That festival that they...
Look how retarded his audience is. Have you ever kicked it with Zach De La Rocha or Tom Morello? First of all, his chat couldn't even spell Tom Morello correctly. So that's one thing. Basically, he's trying to explain all the good work he did for these Cubans, which of course he didn't. But he's trying to explain it, pretends that he did. And his chat is so retarded. They're asking him if he fucking kicked it with some members of Rage Against the Machine. Are you, like, you can't make this shit up.
participated in had Cuban musicians that were also participating in it. It was free for all Cubans to attend, and it was overwhelmingly Cubans that were there.
Something free in a communist nation?
It blows my fucking mind that these people can be so cynical and so gross that they think that like regular everyday Cubans don't want to experience fucking joy. It blows my mind. You just don't even want to think. Like, you.
No one has ever said. When did somebody say regular everyday Cuban citizens don't want to experience joy? Bro, they live in a commie shithole. They live under a communist regime. I am sure that all of them want to experience joy. However, joy is fucking illegal.
Literally can see it. You can see it in real time. You can see Cubans dancing, singing, having a good time. And you're like, oh, they must be brainwashed. Someone was claiming that they were being bribed with treats. And then I come back and I see people on the sidelines trying to do their very best to continue justifying the asphyxiation that we have implemented on this island. The people died because you morons threw a giant party and sucked up all the electricity. These are fucking Cubans, man. These are everyday Cubans having a great time.
Uh-huh. And did other people die? Because from everything I'm reading and hearing, yeah, these motherfuckers in the picture might have lived. Maybe I don't know how wide angle lens cameras work. But if I had to wager a guess, this is not all the Cubans in Cuba. If this was all the Cubans in Cuba, then Trump, what the fuck you doing? We should be able to take them over. Like, we don't even need the military to do it. I know a few of my redneck buddies that can do it themselves. Like 6 of them, bro. Just like put some pontoons and attach them to their 4x4 pickup trucks, and we can go take Cuba. No, this is not. Obviously, Cubans fucking died, you dumb motherfucker. Murboth with a 5-banger. Yes, I ignore what every Cuban said in Florida. Starting off strong. Meanwhile, Janelle Hassan, maybe they can't say anything or get murked, arrested, bribed, etc. because it's almost as if they live under a communist regime. Shout out. Thank you for the 5-banger, homie. You absolute legend. This is for you.
The government can suck it.
Appreciate you, Murboth.
On a free concert that was thrown together. And it wasn't just kneecap. It was like, Cuban artists that were also participating in it.
Cuban state-approved artists. Just make sure state-approved.
I say you're a fucking insanely indecent person, and you should really think hard about why you're repeating obvious moronic lies that MAGA is spamming on the timeline. Vicious scumbag.
That is the pot calling the kettle Cuban.
Star hotel powered by generators while the local hospital goes dark. You are truly, genuinely a psychopath. Wow. This guy is one of the biggest, most troubled, most schizophrenic, vulgar demons I have ever encountered in my fucking life. And he has the audacity to claim that he is a humanitarian and a liberal.
But last I checked, you hate liberalism. You said so yourself. Where's that famous crash out, right? I hate liberalism. Let's see. Hassan Piker, I hate. Yeah, there we go. I hate everything. Oh, no. This is an AI song. Not the same thing. Hold on. Where'd it go? I can't. Wow, dude, you guys, they went to work on this. But you guys know what I'm talking about. He had this massive crash out where he talked about how much he hated liberals, hated liberalism, hated covering politics, everything. That being said, I might need to react to some of these at some point. I had no idea there were so many I hate everything AI songs. So that's interesting. But anyway, so back to this. Dude is freaking out on this guy. Now, I don't even know who this Tim person is. It's like, oh, he has the audacity, calls him a liberal. Well, you openly said you hate liberals, so
shame on this fucking piece of shit. Shame on you. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. I wasn't even in Cuba when I tweeted this, for the record. Cubans are regular people. Cubans are regular ass people.
Yes, Cubans are regular people. We're calling you the not regular person. We're calling you the demon. We're calling you the monster. We're calling you the guy that visited a brothel that's known to have underage women working there. We're calling you the fucking psycho demon spawn from hell that somehow makes destiny look palatable.
They enjoy music. They want to fucking go to a concert. They want to live their lives in spite of the fucking ridiculous blockade, right? In spite of the crippling blockade. This is the Kneecap Boys participating in a public free concert that was put together for Cuban artists, okay? And they were like, oh, we're here. Let's do it. We'll also participate in this concert.
Bro, concert was held by the Kneecap Boys. Wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if they got Tanya Harding as a guest? Like, I would go to that festival. Yo, we've got as our headlining act, Tanya Harding and the Kneecap Boys.
So they also gave a free performance for every Cuban that was in attendance. And these people, and this concert is just mostly Cubans, right? Like, it's just a lot of people were like, oh, they did a concert for just like the wealthy fucking tourists or what.
No, Rage Against the Machine did not turn into Audioslave. Audioslave is a super group comprised of some members of Rage Against the Machine and some members of Soundgarden. But it's a side project super group.
Whatever. No, it's just mostly Cubans. You fucking idiot. Did you hang at the Malecon at night? People are dancing, making music all night long. It's beautiful. Yeah. I didn't.
You think he had to catch himself there? People were dancing all night. Like, did you hang? Yeah. No, I didn't. No, I didn't spend the entire time where I was feigning that I was in a foreign country giving humanitarian aid because I'm such a good person and love communism and want to show how great communism is. I didn't spend any of that time partying, even though I just said I did and then caught myself and had to go back on one of my lies.
I went to just a couple different like bars.
Yes, Luffy John Jr. He is a real celestial dragon. Exactly. Dude, like, yeah, busted. Exactly, Twisted Jack. Let's roll that back. He absolutely exposed himself right there.
People were like, oh, they did a concert for just like the wealthy fucking tourists or whatever. No, it's just mostly Cubans. You fucking idiot. Did you hang at the Malecon at night? People are dancing, making music all night long. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Did you hang? Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, there's no partying, no hanging. I didn't do anything fun. I wasn't having fun and pretending I was out there on humanitarian aid when really this was a vacation for me. This also was conveniently a tax write-off because of propaganda.
I went to just a couple different like.
Agreed, by the way, Fallen Angel. ABF, the real MegaCon winner. Homeboy pulled the most legendary stunt at MegaCon.
Bars. The first night I went to a bar with the Kneecap Boys, it was awesome. I had a great time there. We just dumped a lot of cash to the best of our ability.
You know what? I'll save it. I'll wait.
On everyday Cubans, but it was much better, in my opinion, to just like go to like regular bars and regular restaurants that were, operating in spite of the circumstances, because it was, there were just like real regular Cubans there. I basically
did Asmongold say that? They went poor watching? Bro, poor watching is diabolical, son. So let's read through this. High King Feanor, Alpha Chad of Middle-earth. Hassan spent 3 days in Cuba, and that time he did the following. He broke U.S. law by staying at a 5-star hotel that is on the State Department's ban list, video and eyewitness accounts. He went drinking at bars, self-admitted. He flaunted his wealth in front of a camera while staying in a country where people can barely afford a small amount of food. He used the electricity provided by the Cuban government to live stream so he could keep his own income flowing in over the weekend. This happened while the people of Cuba were living without electricity because communism is ass. He made claims both on Twitter and while on stream about interviewing people, but to my knowledge, there is no actual evidence of this, and I have not seen any as well. I looked, by the way. If there is any, it ain't been released. just saying, yeah, I interviewed this person. They totally agree with my worldview. Also, Cuban Americans aren't really Cuban. Oh, from what I'm reading, if Hassan was paid or received expenses for said mission trip while partying it up in Cuba, that is potentially fraud. So yeah, gonna state something we all know already. Hassan is a massive piece of shit who needs to see the inside of a courtroom. I would love to see him. I would love to see if this part is true. If this part is true, that he broke U.S. law by staying at a 5-star hotel that's on the State Department's ban list, and he is, you know, a U.S. citizen. Trump ain't radical enough for me, son. Trump ain't radical enough. Take away this dude's citizenship. Send his ass back to Turkey. Send his ass back to Turkey. It don't even need to be Turkey. You can send him to any Sand People land. I don't give a fuck what one is. Send him to any Sand People land. Send him to Israel. That'd be even funnier. Strip him of his citizenship and give him a one-way ticket to Israel. That would be fucking funny. So yeah. That's the Hassan stuff. That's the Hassan stuff. I just wanted to take a brief moment at the beginning of the stream to have fun shitting on that dude. Because we didn't get to talk about it really all over the course of the weekend because we were all out and about doing real life fun things. At least we went to MegaCon and it was work, you know. Did some live streams, made sure to still, you know, get footage. Like, there was work there. But, guys, it was like 30% work. And the rest of the 70% was fucking just having fun hanging out, man. Like, at least we're honest about it. At least, unlike Hassan, we're honest about it. We went to MegaCon this weekend. We partied with a bunch of other people. It was fun. 30% work, 70% playtime. I could goddamn guarantee you Hassan did not have the same. Like, it was 100% play, no work, or just enough work to be able to reap some benefits. Yeah, I feel you, ABF. I averaged 3 hours a night. When we were in Orlando, I averaged 3 hours a night. Did I hear about Afroman? Yes, of course I did. In fact, me... So, Sunday morning, I believe. No. Saturday morning, before the con, me and Atreus watched Asmongold's coverage of the Afroman stuff, and then bumped some Afroman songs. It was awesome. Hope you like the new song I made for you. Which one? I don't... If you put it in the Discord while I was gone, I've not seen it. If you're referring to the one that I listened to already, I talked about right before I left about how much I enjoyed that one. Alrighty. Let's get into the main course, boys. Let's get into the main course of the stream. British government just messed up big time. Let's go.
Now, the Donald Big D has been swinging his D around a lot. He's very unhappy with our alliance with England. All right, the gayest country on the planet currently.
No lies detected. No lies detected at all. Guys, give me a country gayer than England. I actually think, unironically, even though they're full-on communists, Cuba might not be as gay. I think England is probably gayer than Cuba.
It's pretty diabolical. I mean, they import all these people that literally execute gay people, and they've somehow became the gay people, which is fitting because they're literally getting killed by the people that bring into the country. So Donald Trump actually tweeted this from SNL. That's obviously making fun of Keir Starmer.
Sorry, Death on Trikey. I ain't no Israel fan at all. But UK is gayer. I truly believe, yeah, no, the UK is gayer than Israel.
Golly. Well, what if Donald shouts at me? What do I say, Lammy?
It's just insane. It's insane. Not only... the fact that SNL made fun of him, that makes sense. This guy fucking sucks. But that Trump posted it is diabolical. All right? Trump repeated constantly, he's now...
This is fucking funny, dude. Like, the idea... Trump has spent so many years raging against what dog shit SNL does, and then just post their complete clip unedited. Power move. Chad move.
He's not a Winston Churchill, that's for sure. Right? Like, this dude, he was been unbelievably pathetic, right, with this Iran war. You can use our bases. You can't use our bases. We don't want to help. We want to help. We want oil. Now that you won, now we'll send a battleship. He's been an absolute nightmare. He's a coward. He's a pussy. He's destroyed his own country. And he's been an absolutely terrible ally, quite literally. So, I mean, I know that Trump's upset at him. I'm just very happy he's actually posting this. I see a lot of people mad at Trump. Oh, you're making tensions between our nations. This guy fucking sucks, all right? And we're not doing anyone any favors by making believe he doesn't.
Just be yourself, Prime Minister. Yourself is who everyone likes.
All right, I hate giving SNL any sort of credit. I hate giving SNL any sort of credit, but that was a pretty well written line. That was a well written line.
18% approval rating, by the way.
Hello? Oh, sod that scary, scary, wonderful president. Why is he so blubber difficult to talk to?
Sir, just be honest and tell him we can't send any more ships to the Strait of Hormuz.
I love how they even include the DEI hire. They include the Prime Minister Assistant DEI hire. They really do know their UK lore.
Oh, crumbs. I just hate conflict so much.
God, this is such a good parody, though. And I don't like SNL. I just like that Trump posted this.
Are you referring to the war or this phone call?
Isn't there a way I can not do both? I just want to keep him happy, Lammy.
I want the rape gangs to stop raping, but I don't want to look Islamophobic by arresting them.
I would watch Nux if he didn't have such outright clickbait in all of his titles and thumbnails. I mean, you do you. I couldn't care less about that. Like, that's how the YouTube game is played, baby.
You don't understand him like I do. I can change him.
What up, C4? Oh, trust me, homie. The Wednesday and Thursday streams are filled with a lot of UK slander.
I don't think the feeling's mutual. He can't stop insulting you. He called you a coward.
He's literally posting this on his Truth Social. And he's right, by the way. He is a coward.
Here's the one thing that this is doing that I don't like. I'm gonna be real. This guy, whoever he is, that's playing Keir Starmer, looks better than Keir Starmer. They're gonna do this right. They need to ugly his ass up. Look at my thumbnail. Look at my thumb. That's how you do a Keir Starmer. You make sure you get the double chin in there. Make sure you get the lack of neck, and wrinkles. That weird little mole thing he got.
There was another Islamic terror attack in England literally today. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, there's a Muslim terrorist attack in the UK every fucking day. Do we need to talk about it at this point? It's like, hey, there was a Muslim terrorist attack in the UK today. Yeah, fucking, and the sun also rose today. 4 at 11.
My depth here, Lammy. How did Liz Truss make this job look so easy?
Look, we were worried you'd lose your nerve, so we've taken steps to help you gain unfounded confidence. Mr. Prime Minister, meet your Gen Z advisor at Lil Hoopy.
What's up, Stormzy? Bow, bow, bow.
At Lil Hoopy is the most qualified person we have. He is the only person under 23 who voted Labour and would so again in the next election.
The only one. Everyone else is voting for Restore.
You're not voting for the Green Party?
Nah, my dad works in oil. No.
I need to know how the Brits are reacting to this. C4, I know you're British. I need to know how you react. Is Fab in the chat? I know she's British. I need to know how she's reacting to this. Yeah, Keir Starmer, negative aura. I hate that term, but I'll agree with
I
it.
do hearts this way, with my thumb.
Thank you, Lil Hoopy. I love you too.
Sir Keir is trying to set boundaries with the president while preserving their special relationship.
I see. Facts. Okay.
You get the idea. It keeps going. Basically, keeps humiliating Starmer, and I respect it. And a lot of people say that he shouldn't be doing this because he's a world leader, and Starmer
Could not give a fuck less. He should be doing it because he's a world leader. If you're going to be a world leader, and you're going to show that you got balls, you're going to show that you are the guy in charge, you're the tip of the iceberg, you are the top of the pyramid, baby, then you make fun of other world leaders. You make fun of other world leaders, and then when you kill them, like we did when we bombed the fuck out of Iran, you style all over their balls and their graves, and you do it again. This is how world leaders should act.
is also a world leader, and they shouldn't do this. It's making tension. This motherfucker wouldn't literally, imprison terrorists and rapists. I don't think he's gonna do shit against the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world. Quite literally, I think making fun of him is actually a good thing. You see, I have come to a realization that a lot of people are slowly gonna be, I'm telling you, this is gonna break the dam. People are gonna follow suit. Follow my little blue footsteps.
This isn't what's gonna break the dam. I'm gonna be real. Like, Trump styling on Keir Starmer's balls ain't gonna break the dam. He's done that plenty of times already. Nah, Reform Party, Reform getting, I think it was over like 130,000 signatures in a week. That's what's breaking the dam.
We go down this path. We have to absolutely and utterly humiliate these
That's fair. That's fair, ABF. They do have less school shootings. Restore, not Reform. Thank you, Restore Party. They do have less school shootings, but I do wonder how many school rapings they have. I do wonder how much school rapings they have.
Feminized men. All right, every single male that orders their testicles on Temu but decides that he is going to talk
Yeah, thank you for the correction.
about feminism and bullshit and Islamophobia or whatever the fuck, they need to be brutally and publicly humiliated. That will be the social shaming system that we need to implement to stop these fucking faggots from taking over the world. They want to use their cancel culture bullshit if you sound a little bit...
Bro, we are so back. Nux is using faggot on stream. Joe Rogan's doing it. Tim Pool's doing it. I've been doing it since I started. We're so bad. Dude, the thumbnail for this, like, just this stream I'm doing has Leaflit holding up a sign that says feminism is gay. Have not been demonetized yet. We'll see where it goes. We're so fucking bad, bro.
Too racist? Maybe you noticed a pattern and all of a sudden now they want to ruin your life? Well, we have to brutally humiliate these fuckers. These emasculated, childless, pathetic retards need to be really used to the fact that everyone knows how pathetic and shitty they are. All right? Now, the reality is they are pathetic and shitty. Multiple Hatzola ambulances erupted in flames in London's Golders Green neighborhood. There is no immediate word on the cause. It was Muslims in hoodies.
So C4, you said that we in America have to worry about ambulance prices. True. But we don't have to worry about spontaneous Muslim-adjacent ambulance combustion.
But anti-Semitic arson is an immediate suspicion. No, you don't fucking say. Now, Hatzalah, for those of you that are unaware, is a Jewish emergency service, a private company that is 100% privately funded. It does not take money from the government. It is a...
And that is how all medical services and all public services in general should be. Fire departments, police departments, medical services, all privately funded. Fuck the government.
Volunteer agency of licensed EMTs that are first responders. Whenever they get a call that someone is hurt, that someone is choking, that someone broken a bone, you call Hatzalah, they show up. It is not exclusively for Jewish people. Obviously, anyone can use Hatzalah. It's just owned by Jews, and it's largely funded by...
Well, okay, yeah, everything's owned by Jews. Like, get to the fucking point.
Jews. There are many of these Hatzalahs all over the place. They have them in Brooklyn. They have them in New Jersey. They have them in England, apparently. And they have them all over. Basically, wherever you have like a large Jewish community, there's a Hatzalah, which, once again, privately owned, privately funded, volunteer service. And the fact that this is the target of an arson attack by a Muslim is fucking diabolical. Didn't they know there was a synagogue around the block that they could have bombed? Totally missed opportunity. I'm kidding. They already tried that in Michigan. It didn't work there. So maybe they're changing things up. I don't know. But they say it's linked to an Iranian terror cell and a brand new terrorist organization, which we're going to get to in a minute. Want to hear a really funny statistic? Despite the fact that Christianity is the largest religion in the world, the top 20 terrorist organizations, by size, are all Muslim.
Bro, Muslims are about to be feeling the wrath of the words per capita the way that liberals do, and you love to see it.
What a coincidence. Probably nothing to do with the religion that literally tells you to smite the non-believer at the neck, right? Probably has nothing to do with the religion, okay? Or I don't want to sound Islamophobic or anything. I mean, we're talking about England here. I don't want the international thought police to come and arrest me. So this is pretty insane, honestly. These ambulances ran 100% by volunteers, saved lives every day in London, especially given that NHS ambulances now often take hours to arrive because it's a socialized medicine, and socialized medicine is absolutely bullshit. It doesn't work. So a lot of people have been using the Hatzalah services. This has to be one of the most horrific acts of low IQ anti-Semitic evil to happen here in recent years against stiff competition. Yeah, there's a lot of stabbing Jews, shooting Jews, beating up Jews, vandalizing synagogues and stuff. I mean, that's what happens when you import 4 bajillion Pakistanis, I guess. Anyone that's actually surprised about this is probably retarded. They're literally in the streets chanting to globalize the Intifada, and everyone's surprised when they globalize the Intifada. And I don't want to be controversial here or anything, or Islamophobic, but
See, and over here, I'm just like, man, I really want Mexican food. I want to globalize the empanada. That's where I'm sitting at. Like,
like, there's a game that I always like playing whenever there's a terror attack. You know, I give you guys 2 options. Who's the terrorist? But sometimes it's just so obvious.
yeah, you have 2. Chat, let's see if you know the game. Let's see if you know the game. If there's a terrorist attack, what are your 2 options? Let me know in the chat. I'll wait. Finally, Fab is here. Talking about the UK. It took you long enough, Fab. I see my comment didn't show up in Leon's screen. Censorship at its finest. Yep. You're right. Back to the glorious censorship of YouTube. Well, that's my life. All right, crew. Terrorist attack gets announced on the news. You got 2 options. You're going to flip that coin. What are the 2 options? I know that you guys know this. What are the 2 most likely outcomes? Straight to the mail is 2A? Hell yeah, 2A. That's not the answer to the question, obviously. False flag or the 3rd forbidden thing? No. I mean, well, yeah. Duckland got one. Troon, that's the game. It's called Troon or Muslim. Troon or Muslim. You see the headline that says terrorist attack, then you stop. You immediately hop on Polymarket and you place your bet. Troon or Muslim.
That it's a Muslim. Like, do we even need to play the game? Like, it's in England, right? A Muslim majority country as it is. All right, it's literally against Jews. All right, we get it. It's an arson attack. All right, very cool. And it's a low IQ anti-Semitic attack. You see, at least the Nazis, bro, they're fucking high IQ. They're intelligent, you know? But, like, these dumb fucks come from 65% inbred Pakistan, and then we're surprised when they're fucking retarded. 0 challenge, not even worth...
Well, Fractal Mage, that's where you got it wrong. So it depends on what country it's in. If it's in the US or the UK, then yes, bet on Troon. I'm sorry, the US or Canada. If it's in the US or Canada, you bet on Troon. If it's in the UK, you bet on Muslim.
Playing Guess the Terrorist, all right? The government will fund 4 replacement ambulances after those belonging to the Jewish community were set on fire in Golders Green. For the record, this is not completely accurate. The government will loan them 4 ambulances for now, and that's what it seems. But as you can see, it's 4 youths. 4 youths show up all of a sudden, middle of the night. There they are, just a couple of youths, nothing to see here. And they go up to the ambulance. Definitely a totally nice thing to do, probably.
Ain't even rocking the Hugo Boss, man. Ain't even like look at this. Terrorists used to have style, bro. Terrorists used to have style. They don't even need to rock the Hugo Boss. Like, at least give us like some turbans or something. At least wear some turbans, some nice like silk gowns. If you gonna commit acts of terror, drip up, homie. Show us you got the drip.
They go up to the ambulance. Definitely a totally nice thing to do, probably. They light a little fire. And they literally do this to 4 ambulances. It's pretty insane, honestly. It's pretty diabolical. But again, that's just life. That is life. Now, a lot of people have been crashing out. Oh my God, they have their own ambulance services, right? We're here, working our ass off, paying taxes, and the British government's fucking ambulance system sucks so much, and the Jews have their own ambulance service. Technically, it is a completely privately owned organization. It is privately owned, and it is all volunteer work. So, yeah, I guess
exactly.
Next time you're in trouble in England, you're a Jewish community, call Hatzalah. Y'all should be knowing about this. These are the cheat codes to surviving. We got to use the use the Jew tunnels for fast travel. I can't believe so many people didn't know about this. Like, it's a volunteer service that literally works with anyone that actually calls. It's pretty insane. It's like, what's next? You don't even know that the Jews have like the weather machines that control the weather too? Please.
Okay, that is true though. That is true. The Jews do have the weather machine that control the weather. Not even a joke. Watch our tinfoil haters episode on ARP. HARP. It started off as ARP, and then it's changed to HARP. So yeah, that is real. It's not just the Jews, to be fair. It's the American government, which is likely, funded by the Jews, but it is real. Check out our episode on HARP.
That's ridiculous. Obviously, we do. This is Nigel Farage. He's like a center-right party. I'm not a big fan of the guy, to be honest, because he doesn't want to deport enough motherfuckers from the country. But this is what he had to say about it.
Over a decade ago, I warned that I feared a 5th column was building up inside this country of people who literally hated us and everything we stand for. I was
Wow, you're so brave. And you still don't want to deport them. Unbelievable.
roundly condemned for those comments.
That's right. They called him Islamophobic for noticing that the Muslims that they are importing are not integrating into society, and they're quite literally not allying with the British people. They're allying with themselves to conquer England. He was right about that. And then he decided he didn't want to deport them. Holy shit.
Overnight in North London, 4 private ambulances were firebombed. Yes, they were owned by the Jewish community. They were there as a backup to the ambulance service. They weren't just for Jewish people, actually. Anybody could ring them up if they were struggling to get an ambulance. And 4 of them have been firebombed and destroyed. The group that has claimed credit for it, Ashab al-Yamin.
Every fucking time.
Why does it always sound like you're like vomiting or having a bad bowel movement or whatever when you say these terrorist like these terrorist organization names? Like, dude, come up with something that I can say. If I'm gonna roast you on X or whatnot, I need to be able to pronounce your fucking name.
Chab al-Yamin. Yeah, it totally sounds like a straight white Christian male, if you ask me.
Is a terrorist organization that has already
I thought white supremacy was the biggest threat to the Jews. Please, bro.
committed horrible crimes in Belgium, in the Netherlands, and
Agreed, Amy. Agreed, Fab. Yeah, no, Farage is a lot of people jumped on the Farage train back in the day, myself included, because he was saying all the right shit. But yeah, he a pussy. Absolute wet blanket.
in Greece as well.
Slight, improvement over Boris Johnson. What up, Cyfax? How you doing, homie?
Look at that. It's a literal trans-European terrorist organization created and made up by migrants that you dumb fucks imported yourselves. We brought a death cult into our country, and now they're trying to kill us? I can't believe it.
Well, they are directly linked to the IRGC.
Wow. Literal and Iranian-based terrorist organization killing people throughout Europe, in multiple countries in Europe, and these fucking retarded faggots didn't want to join our war. They didn't want to open the Strait of Hormuz. We didn't want to get involved in helping with the Strait of Hormuz. They are literally getting attacked on the inside by Iranian terrorist organizations, and these shitbags didn't want to get involved.
Does Islam have a concept of karma? Like, because I honestly don't know. I know it's mostly a Hindu thing. But does it have their own version of karma? Because that is like good Islamic karma. I mean, it's bad for the UK, but it's good for the Muslims. The UKs are like, no, we're not going to assist the US in the absolute destruction of the terrorist regime in Iran. And the Muslims are like, thank you. We're going to go blow up some Jewish ambulances now.
Because they were scared of the Muslims in their countries. Let's be honest for a second.
The Iranian terror group, the group that even the European Union has now prescribed as a terror.
I love that he has to say even. Like, even the European Union. The European Union, they don't acknowledge any Muslim terrorists. You know, they think that calling someone a Muslim terrorist is Islamophobia. But even they're like, yeah, these guys are probably fucking terrorists.
Terrorist organization. I have been urging the Prime Minister to do something about this.
Why would he do something about it? These are literally the people that are voting for him. His voters are literally the Al-Shabaab, whatever the fuck, Boko Haram retards.
Yet what did he do? He said, our thoughts are with the Jewish community.
Wow, that'll help. That'll help. That'll really help the Jewish guy that was shot in Manchester. I'm sure that he feels so much better that Keir Starmer, the guy that let in the guy that shot the Jewish guy, I'm sure he feels much better that his thoughts are with him.
Sorry, Prime Minister, your thoughts aren't enough. What I want to hear, what the whole country wants to hear, given we now have a terror cell embedded in North London.
How the fuck did that happen?
What I want to hear is you are prescribing as a terrorist organization the IRGC, and that we will hunt.
So Jason says I normally don't pay attention to Britain or Scotland, only when it could or does affect the USA, and that is exactly why I pay attention to it. So much of what is happening in the UK, as well as Australia, as well as all these other European countries, obviously Australia's not European, I'm saying UK, European countries, Australia, things like that. These are the testing grounds for what's going to eventually at least be attempted in the US. And what's being attempted currently, but on a smaller scale comparatively. So I think being brushed up on UK news and European news and what's going on with all these terrorist regimes in these foreign countries are incredibly important, because if it's working there, it will eventually get its way here. Yes, what's happening in the UK is upstream from us. Bingo, bango, bongo. Exactly, Matt.
Down those who committed this act overnight and who could be capable of doing much worse.
You see, the reason why I don't like this guy is because what he should have said is, we will deport every single illegal alien in the entire country. We will shut down immigration from third world countries. We will denaturalize millions of people that refuse to assimilate into our culture. Right? That's what he should be saying. All right, if they have they literally imported, they rolled out the red carpet and they fund the stay of terrorists because of their suicidal immigration policies. And this dumb fuck.
Fab is correct. Fab is correct. I did a whole video on that a while ago. Or maybe I just did it in a stream. I don't know if there's a video. I know I talked about it in stream. The lead up to Mamdani's election was like, why everybody in America should be worried about this. Because if it happens in New York, it can happen anywhere. If it happens in New York, it can eventually happen in the Carolinas, in Florida, in Texas. If that is happening in Texas as well. It doesn't matter how deep red your state or city is or whatnot. If it happened in New York, it can happen anywhere else. Mamdani is just step one.
Literally doesn't even want to take the extra step to say that, well, maybe the mass migration is actually an issue. We just need to hunt the people responsible. Or we need to take out the 3 hoodlums. 3 guys named Mohammed.
It is time the Prime Minister gave a lead. Just complaining that
Yeah, so Soup Lane, but here's the thing. Or no, sorry, Matt. I can fix the Dearborn issue. No one's coming to me for the answers, but I can fix the Dearborn issue. You want to get all the Muslims out? Just change it to Pigborn. Just rename the city. Rename the city to Pigborn, and they will all scatter like the cockroaches they are.
anti-Semitism has no place in Britain isn't good enough. He needs to do something about it.
He's totally right. And what he needs to do goes way further than whatever the fuck you're doing. In fact, I'll tell you what he needs to do. This is Rupert Lowe. He is running for the Restore Britain party. They're being called the far-right party. And you know what? I don't actually give a fuck what you call me. like that is the stance that you need to have today. Right? I don't care what labels you throw at me. I don't care what pejoratives you hurl. None of it matters. Plenty of hysteria around Restore Britain's policy on banning the burqa. Misinformation is rife, and I want to officially correct the record. We'd ban the niqab too.
Based! This is how a world leader should fucking talk. This is how a world leader should talk. Yeah, banning the burqa. Misinformation. The niqab too. Fucking legendary. Now, here's to hoping this dude doesn't end up being an absolute weasel like Farage. Because this is, yes, more of this, please.
Right, these are 2 different types of Islamic hair coverings. He's like, bro, we are not, this guy wants to deport them all. This guy wants to deport them all, as many as fucking possible. It's going to be hard work, and he's going to fucking do it. And you can call him racist, and he doesn't care. And that.
Yep, Texas, the Muslim state. Yeah, what's his name? I'm trying to remember the governor's name. The governor of Texas' name. He is, the vast majority of his funding comes from pro-Muslim groups.
That's what I like to see, honestly. This guy's fucking diabolical. And you know what? That might actually help the Jewish
Abbott, yes, thank you, Abbott.
community from getting stabbed. I'm starting to realize if all of them are not in the country, then they're not going to be firebombing Jewish ambulances. All right, Keir Starmer, right, queer Stalin over here decided to release this statement. Beautiful stuff. This is a deeply shocking anti-Semitic arson attack. My thoughts are with the Jewish community who are waking up this morning to the horrific news. Anti-Semitism's new place in our society. Anyone with information must come forward to the police.
Yeah, the police that aren't going to do anything. The police that will arrest you for saying that you love bacon outside of a mosque. Because don't forget, that's the thing that happened. The police that will arrest, like, teenage retarded girls for saying that the female cop looks like a lesbian. That was the thing that happened. Don't forget that. Abbott supports Muslims. He gets a lot of his financial backing from Saudi Arabian funding. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, call the police. Even the police that don't carry fucking guns unless you happen to be a stand-up comedian who made transgender jokes and they send 5 dudes with guns to arrest you when you get off a fucking plane. Those police, fuck you.
The gayest
lesbian aunt, whatever it was. Yeah, go back and watch the video.
fucking statement I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, this is literally a nothing burger. Terrorist attack happens. I condemn it. Wow! Another strongly worded tweet by Queer Stalin expecting to save the world. Diabolical. Now, just to understand how bad the situation actually is in England, pedophile migrant who failed to disclose child sex offense after coming to UK wins appeal against deportation as the judge rules it was an honest mistake.
I mean, it probably was. And let me explain. Because in these countries, in these backward shithole Dune-Coon countries, pedophilia is not a crime. So when they're like filling out the deportation and appeal information, and they're like, oh, have you ever been, are you a major criminal? Well, no, I'm not. Because in his fucking mind, he didn't do anything wrong. Because this is a backwards, messed up culture that does not need to exist.
I could guess who the fucking judge was, but I won't.
Farage isn't the MAGA equivalent. Well, okay, actually, I agree. Farage is the MAGA equivalent because neither go far enough. Yeah.
Because I'm smart. It was a Muslim. I'm kidding. I doubt it. I didn't read the article. Honestly, this happens every day in England. I have no idea, but I don't care. I don't care. It's this leftoid policy hive mind that brings in the retards and then forces you to keep them there. You're not going to deport a pedophile that lied on his...
Fab, I don't want you to rule the world. Because we need to rule the world. But here's the dealio. If we're the numero uno big-time Godfather mob boss, if you was to get your shit together, we'd let you be our little right-hand man. We'd let you be our enforcer.
Immigration files, like, what are we fucking doing? All right? This is London right now.
Not even joking. Leaving Florida, this was my experience at the airport. Standing in line before the TSA, this was my experience at the airport. I shit you not. Surrounded by a bunch of brown-skinned women in like these head coverings and shit. And as I was saying on Tinfoil Haters last night, you guys might have missed it. I was the one pulled aside. I was the one pulled aside when I went through TSA, and they had to do a waistband check on me because they thought I had a gun. Yeah, I'm standing in a crowd of brown-skinned women with like the head coverings and shit. I go through TSA. I'm the one that gets pulled aside. They have to check my waistline for a gun or some sort of weapon. And then I jokingly said, do I look Muslim to you guys? Not a goddamn word. Was not a laugh, not a chuckle, nothing. Yeah, no. This was my experience at the airport. Michael Doberman with a 5-banger says no. He just got off probation. Oh. Okay. So, but the probation, what was the probation for? Wait. Why the motherfucker only... He better have gotten probation for something else. Because if dude had pedophile charges... And it was from and that's all he got is probation. That is sick. That is twisted. That is, I'm absolutely mortified if that's the case. LCPL anime guy for a 2-banger. At this point, just bring back Right of Conquest. Well, it shouldn't have gone anywhere because the Muslims still believe in that. They still believe in the right of conquest, and they're actively doing it right now. We just need to get on their level and be better at it than them. Shout out for both the 2-bangers. Both the super chats, the 2-banger, the 5-banger. Thank you so much. This is for you guys.
It's the only time simping's okay is if it's for your wife. You can simp for your wife.
If you're cheating. If you're cheating, it's okay.
Yeah, hurry here first.
How y'all like that new clip, baby? How y'all like that new clip? I got patted down leaving Florida, but I flew out of my hometown. Yeah, like it's absolutely insane. And Sebrew, I saw you there. You don't look like you'd be the type of dude to bring a gun on a plane either.
Allahu Akbar.
Anyway, you get the idea. They keep coming. They keep coming. They keep coming, actually. Holy shit. They keep, oh, what the, no, I do not condemn this. I do not.
I do. I condemn it. Oh, wait. No. I don't condemn it. No. I flip my words. I don't condemn it either.
All right, now the BBC is releasing propaganda constantly too.
Condone,
right?
I think was the word he was trying to use. I do condone
these little gay movies that they've been publishing to talk about how right-wing
How'd the boat thing turn out? Go watch the stream.
extremism is the actual problem.
Go ahead.
Mum, it looks like Whitlock got hold of those Home Office documents via Freedom of Information requests. He made a total of 9 requests during his time in prison.
9 Freedom of Information requests.
It sounds like Whitlock had it in for the Home Office.
So a bunch of girl bosses got together and they're investigating because a guy in prison was looking into the information of criminals.
Accused the government of covering up the true stats on undocumented migrants.
Wow, he thinks that the government covered up the stats of undocumented migrants, which, by the way, the government actually was doing.
Yeah, and freedom of information requests are completely legal and justified, and I don't know who this bad guy is they're talking about, but they're making him a really cool character. I ain't even seen him on screen yet, but they're making him a really cool character. My favorite character. See what we got here. We got my man, LCBL anime guy, for a 2-banger, strategically take equipment to an alternate location. Oh, steal. Well done. I get it. Well done. Thank you for the 2-banger.
So it's something of an obsession for the lad.
And yes, that is propaganda. Triple F Fighter 4.
Because?
Sending you the post that got him kicked off the platform.
Oh my god. What's the post that got him kicked off the platform? By the way, this is not true. You don't get kicked off 4chan.
Say the last land invasion of England was
It's a white male.
in 66. In actual fact, the last land invasion of England was yesterday morning at 9:45 when a boat carrying 40 undocumented male migrants landed in Dungeness, Kent.
He's right. He's literally right. That happens in England every single day. Well, where's the lie?
40, fighting age,
I love how everyone's like looking at each other. This is just true.
illegal male migrants.
That's true.
A land invasion is an act of war. Right? In war, civilians are allowed to fight back. We're supposed to fight back.
Hero of the story. Based. Made the show about him.
And the next time a boatload of fighting age males lands on our shores, we'll be ready.
Turn the car around.
I think women need to share the blame for the West's destruction more than anyone's liberal white women that are doing a lot of damage. Wrong. I disagree. I would like to agree. I would like to agree, but I don't. Men need to take the blame because if men been keeping their women in place, they wouldn't have been able to vote for this shit. Or wouldn't have voted for this shit. Either way.
My god. A white male doesn't want his country invaded? No. So, like, this is the level of slop that they're actually posting. And there's another one. All right, so this is quite literally the illegal aliens invading England, all right? Look at these guys. Now, obviously, normally it's fighting age men. Right, and this is the white supremacist terrorist. Aiming at a child, even though there really aren't children on these boats for the most part. But why not? Who cares? Make him comically evil. Oh my god. The true villains, not the poor children invading the country illegally, but the white men trying to stop his country from getting invaded. This is
Exactly, Scooter Puff. Force doctrine always wins.
insane. All right, new adolescents. All right, this time the illegal migrants raping little girls are not the bad guys, but the Englishman who's angry about migration turns out to be a child.
What's even worse, Fab, I'm going to disagree again, though. You say, yes, weak men. This is true. Weak men through white liberal women are responsible. I would also say even the supposed strong men, because the supposed strong men didn't keep the weak men in check. They didn't build the weak men up to turn the weak men into strong men. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, the strong men that are supposed to have the handle on this shit, they fucked up. We fucked up. There's an even better way to put it. As a paragon of masculinity, I should say, you know.
Murderer. This is a BBC-funded propaganda, and it's insane. So, for the record, if you're in England and you're paying taxes...
Exactly, Junebug. The strong men were too kind-hearted. Agreed.
Your taxes are going to this. All right, they're not going to Jewish ambulances, which are completely self-financed. They're going to this propaganda on why we actually need to let our countries get raped by.
Bro, we need to do with this dude in this show what was done with Amelia. Just make him a ultra mega Chad. Start putting him in like images with Amelia and shit. They're gonna have like the perfect like alt-right nationalist babies. I don't know who the evil guy is in this show, but we need to start just making him the poster child. We need Amelia 2.0.
Illegals. I hope you understand. Now, to understand the level of rot in all of these countries, this young woman was kicked off the morning show for exposing that 90% of thefts in Barcelona are committed by foreigners.
Salir a la calle y hablar con la gente trabajadora del día a día que tiene que vivir con las consecuencias de nuestro país.
You get the idea. All right, I don't speak Mexican, but you get the idea. The reality is, you just list true statistics.
Now, Caravaggio, here's the dealio. It's not that it's easier to shit on women. It's that it's so much more fun. Like, the truth is that it's men's fault. But shitting on women is so much more fun.
They call you a racist.
There we go. Chad Shaddington and his wife, Amelia. I dig it.
And they kick you off their shows. All right? Now, breaking news, 2 far-left anarchists blew themselves up with a homemade bomb in preparation for a terrorist attack in Rome, Italy. Oh, well, huge. That's so sad. Anyway, moving on. If you look into the actual stats here and you want to literally freak the fuck out, a new study shows that the average Somali immigrant to Finland comes with a lifetime fiscal burden of 950,000 euros. The average Iraqi immigrant costs the
fuck off, Molly.
Finnish system nearly 700,000, far outpacing the native Finns' 3,400 annual net contribution. All right, so this person asks Grok, how many Finnish taxpayers are needed to cover the cost of one Somali if one Somali creates a lifetime fiscal burden of 951,000 euros, which is the actual stat? Approximately 280. 280. 951,000 euros lifetime fiscal burden divided.
I would like to take this time after that conversation to appreciate Fab and Molly and whatever other very small percentage of my viewing audience is female. Y'all are the real ones.
By 3,400 annual net.
I have like a 2.7% female audience or some shit. Y'all keep it real.
Contribution per working age native Finn, 279.9, which means you need
PK the one only in the chat as well. PK the one only, also a woman. Shout out.
280 Finnish people working full-time their whole
What
lives
up, IB the EV?
to quite literally prop up the life of one Somali. One Somali. They're bringing these parasites into our countries to destroy us financially, sexually, and through terrorism. And they might put...
Throwing sexually in there is diabolical, bro. It's true. It's true. But it's diabolical. That's some dirty work.
You in jail, if you notice.
Legendary. Absolutely legendary. Great video. Yeah, dude. Trump shitting on the UK. There's the link I just dropped in chat. Make sure to give it a like. Trump shitting all over Starmer. Calling out these Islamist terrorist attacks. And I know that talking about this stuff is so majorly black-pilled. I know that talking about so much of this stuff comes off as majorly black-pilled. I always want to remind y'all, I do see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a light that's lit by a dude's, chest exploding when he lights off a suicide vest. It's an actual real light. It takes work. It takes hard work. It takes determination. It takes the good men. Takes the good men getting rid of the hard times. The strong men getting rid of the hard times. I don't think this is permanent. But for this to not be permanent, we do have to constantly remind people that this is happening so it gets motherfuckers in gear to fix the shit. Like, you can't get the strong men to get rid of the bad times unless this is constantly on viewership blast. So I think that is the stage that we are in. Catch you later, Itzel. Alrighty. We got another video to go over. We got to talk about some leaflet stuff. Before that, I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. One moment. Bingo, bango, bongo. We back. Hope you guys enjoyed the chair stream. Chair of Paradise. Yes, we have been at peace for too long. I agree. Feel like checking out at times. I hate saying that. Hey, nah, hold on that shit. You're better than that. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a little bitch. Instead of checking out, you need to check out others. There's a lot to shit on the UK. Ain't that the true wheels? Ain't that the truth? But look, I was over here. I was blaming men. I was blaming men because blaming men is the right thing to do. But feminism is destroying society. Let's go.
How about stuck?
We might be stuck in a pattern of civilizational collapse, and it's
Ooh,
because
I
our
like that
relationships
topic.
are not as strong as they used to be. This video is a long overdue answer to the question, why is promiscuity bad? The answer is kind of complicated. Let's start with this. Why would promiscuous behavior, as pictured here, cause a collapse of civilization?
This is a very easy answer. I don't know how Leaflit got a 30-minute video about this, because here's a very easy answer. Promiscuous behavior causes the collapse of civilization because everything has a cost, right? Everything has a cost. What is the general rule of any sort of financial how life is done? I'll let you guys in the chat. What are your thoughts, right? What is the general rule of finance? You love home math? I don't know if I've ever actually seen a home math video. I'm waiting for you guys. What is the general rule of finance? How are goods processed? How are goods consumed? All right, none of you guys are saying it. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. There's a limited supply of women. There's a demand for good women. Now, there's a limited supply of women. Then there's, by necessity, a limited supply of good women. So when you got promiscuity driving up the costs, again, literal home math, when you got promiscuity coming in there, ruining lives, wrecking families, dudes don't want to be with them, they're not having kids, they're aborting their kids, all this, that, and the other, then dudes aren't getting laid, dudes aren't getting into relationships, women aren't either, or if they are, you've got a very small percentage of the dudes getting laid, no one's making children. Like, it is literally up to women to not be fucking hoes, to not be thoughts, to keep society going.
I put together this map. It's originally created by Ken Wilber. This
Harry Potter trailer just dropped. They didn't show Snape. We'll watch the Harry Potter trailer after this.
is just my easy-to-read version. As a quick reference for
Wait, this thing got even more complicated. This is like the
developmental
levels
psychology,
thing.
how people's minds develop individually from birth until wherever you stop, and how that affects the development of society and culture. And over here, there's this little grid that shows the individual mind and culture, and individual behavior and society. The way that people's minds work is going to form a culture. The way that culture works is going to shape society. The way that society works is going to influence your mind, and the way your mind works will influence your behavior. All these things are interrelated. So society, which we depend on for
bro out here making a chart like this is the Fire Emblem axe sword spear of Homath. I'm loving this. This is the Fire Emblem or the fire type, water type, grass type, tree effect of Pokemon, but for hoes.
Influence your behavior. All these things are interrelated. So society, which we depend on for
no, Darby, your comments are not being removed. YouTube censorship, because I did see this one. YouTube censorship is off the rails. I have all settings turned off for, like, YouTube's algorithm auto-censoring comments, and yet, for whatever reason, it still does it. It still does it. It's not you, it's happening to everyone. It's happening to Fab. It's happening to everybody in the chat. It sucks. No, you are absolutely not unwelcome. Wait. Yeah, I said that right. You're not unwelcome.
Everything we have is based on the way that we relate to each other, which is falling apart very quickly, due in large part to acceptance of promiscuous behavior. Here's a bunch of little heartbreaks and lower relationship strength. Our relationships also suffer because we don't understand each other, and that's something you can fix. And today's sponsor, Ground News, can help. You are on the internet right now, so you're confused. We all are.
Bro, who do I gotta fuck or kill to get a Ground News sponsorship? They're one of the very few sponsorships I take. Like, do I need to roll up to Shuan Head's house and pretend and like do to her vehicle and her home what them Muslims did to them ambulances in the UK so they have a spot open for a new sponsorship? I'm just saying.
Algorithms make us feel bad, blame it on other people, and then attack them like idiots. This is not making us smarter. We need perspective. That's why Ground News has an app and a website that shows you where your news is coming from.
The problem is people get paid for it. Like all of the, and this is just the truth. Like I'm telling you, this is how it is that when people on X rile up other people, they actually get paid. You get paid for it. I know because I get paid.
This is only partially true. This is only partially true. You need to hit certain requirements to get paid for it. I rile up people on X, and I ain't hit them requirements yet, boys. Let me show you. So you have to hit certain requirements on X. One of those requirements, you need, I believe it's, 2,200 verified followers. Or maybe it's only 500. I don't remember. But the big one is you need 3 million impressions. So, point is, I'm riling up motherfuckers for free. Because you need to be looking at my numbers. Let's see. Where is it? Where's the big one that hit? Yeah, we go. This is the big one that hit yesterday. Sitting at about 250,000 views almost. 250,000 views. Not even trying to rage bait. Just literally saying my shit. I 100% believe this. Not rage bait in the slightest. I want to see a remastered version of this masterpiece soon. Once a remaster of a game that's only 12 years old, still holds up beautifully. It's fucking clowns, the worst part of gaming culture today. You can't make this shit up. Same rage bait, baby. So maybe someday I'll get so good at the rage bait game I'll get paid. But that day is not today.
So it's everybody, you know, all like the big accounts that are like, you know, starting shit with people, and it's you get paid for it. So there's kind of like an ulterior motive, like it's on the table.
And yeah, Fab, I very, very, very rarely will ban. There are 3 things that will cause me to ban. If you're underage, if you are below 18-year-old viewer and you come in this chat, insta ban. Insta ban. My channel is not for children. I don't care if you turn 18 tomorrow. You can sub tomorrow. If you acknowledge that you are under the age of 18, banned. If you if you come in and like I'm going to be reacting to something or doing something with you guys in the chat and you start spoiling it, ruining the event, if there's spoilers or whatnot, and you're ruining the show for not just me, but for the audience as well, I'll ban you for that. And third is when we get attacked by, which has happened multiple times, people will come in, start spamming the chat in effort to get the channel taken down by sending in multiple bot accounts, like dropping slurs and stuff. I'll ban those bot accounts. That's it. Those are the 3 things to get you banned.
Especially when you start to bring in like other countries where
Dizzy just called me Paradaddy, and I kind of want to die.
Them making dollars, people in other countries making dollars is a lot of the times for like smaller countries, it's a lot. You make a lot of money if you make money in dollars. So that's why a lot of these other countries, like India, for instance, right, and like Southeast Asia, like some South American countries, they're African countries, they're in.
Hey, Wizard hit 100K subs. Nice, well done, Wizard. Absolute fucking legend. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but I just heard. Yeah, real life fake Wizard 100K, legend. Love that dude. That's awesome to hear. So proud of him. I've got bot before. I've gotten hit with bot attacks 3 or 4 times.
Incentivized to basically make these accounts that like rage bait people because then they get paid in US dollars.
Ground News gives you different takes on the news all in one place, and it helps you spot.
That's true, IB the EB. We are less than 60 subs away from 10K on this end. If you're watching me and you're not subbed, we are less than 60 subs away from 10K subs. Hit that button, you beautiful bastards.
Potential bias. Look at this story about trans students in red states. There's a bias comparison. Ground News shows you who's reporting on it, and they even have a nice little picture. Now you can see all in one place that left-leaning outlets say that red states are.
And I didn't even.
I'll do a 10K celebration if we hit 10K, absolutely.
Mention like the psyops as well, right? Like there's also people that they rile up feelings specifically for the purpose of actually sowing discord. And that was only really combated lately with the whole country thing where it shows like what country you're from.
Challenging inclusivity, while right-leaning outlets say that they're protecting women and girls. They even have a blind spot feed with stories that are all right or all left, so you can break out of your bubble. If you want to be a free thinker with less effort, click this link in the comments or scan the QR code. You'll get 40% off the Vantage plan, which I use for unlimited access to every feature. That's ground.news/HM for 40% off the Vantage plan. Click it in the comments. If we remain unable to understand each other, we tend to do what we want instead of thinking about what's right. Basically, when people are allowed to do whatever they want, it degrades us from this stable model of courtship and relationship form.
I will sort of agree with him and sort of disagree with him here. We should be allowed to do whatever we want, but we should foster a culture that shames people away from that thought process. Because by not being allowed to do what you want, that means someone else is in control. Big daddy government, whatever. And that should never be the case. So we should be allowed to do whatever we want, but we should foster a culture and a mentality that unifies and agrees on the ideas of shame and what is bad, so that even though we have the ability, like legally, to do whatever we want, morally we would be against it.
To this unstable one. In the
I know, Jason. She told me when she was on my stream a couple weeks ago.
Old one, we could have stable marriages that were enforced by social conventions, and
yes, I think I finally found the perfect one, Fab. I'm looking into it more throughout the course of this week, but I think I finally found the perfect alt. But if you got ideas, DM me.
in the new one, there's a few guys who get all the attention that they can handle, and so they don't commit to women, and therefore most of the women get played and dumped over and over,
Feminism did
and
this.
these guys get no attention, and that makes everyone unhappy, and it also is really...
There were two things that caused this.
This was the supply and demand argument I was referring to.
One of them was feminism, and also the other thing, which is also related to feminism, was no-fault divorce as well. There's like two things.
Correct. And that's why I get tired of fucking Reagan-era Republican glazers, bro. If you a Reagan glazer Republican, fuck you, you're an idiot. Reagan was god-awful. Dude, there's only one... There's one type of politician glazer I want in my chat when it comes to U.S. presidents. I want you to be a Democrat glazer, but only one Democrat in particular. Andrew motherfucking Jackson. Andrew motherfucking Jackson is the only goddamn president we should ever be glazing.
Bad for stable marriages that produce children. And this model is only possible when people believe I can do...
Took automatics. Andrew Jackson was so basic, good goddamn right he was. Yeah, he took out automatics. He heavily restricted the Second Amendment. No fault divorce. Reagan was awful. A bunch of lefty social ideas. Yeah.
Whatever I want, and you can't judge me. If you allow people to be...
Roosevelt, you can glaze as a person, but not as a president. Roosevelt was an incredible man. Far too lefty as a president.
Behave like this, then they stop building this, and it turns into this. Modern people believe that the world is made of individuals. It is actually made of relationships. In the same way that a pile of bricks is not a building. In order for the building to work, the bricks have to be arranged in a certain way, they have to be connected, and once the bricks start saying...
JFK literally saved the world from nuclear holocaust. Yippee-ki-yay. They also killed him for it. Nah. You can't take a bullet, you don't get glazed. You maybe be appreciated, but you don't get glazed. If you can't handle a little bullet to the skull, you can't get glazed. Weak. That's pussy material right there. Dude should have caught that shit with his teeth, anime style.
I don't want to be part of a building anymore. I want to do me. Then the building starts decaying, and then the other bricks say, well, if you're not doing your job, then I won't do my job. And we go from a building to a pile. A big part of this decay is the sexual revolution, which is actually just a decay. It's reverse development. We are going from high...
what is it saying? This is HOMAS, apparently.
Higher levels down to lower ones. I've been over this in previous videos. This one's called Saturday Scaries. Basically, all cultures have to grow through these levels. You can't skip stages. And when a culture develops from this low impulsive stage to the rules and roles stage, they come up with strict social norms, and they eventually grow to the achiever stage, which is like corporate, keeping up with the Joneses, and eventually into this sensitive, individualistic hippie stage where people start...
And that's when we need to start culling people. Once it gets to that stage, that's when we need to start culling people. Or at least just like shipping them off to other countries or something. Point is, we don't need hippies around. Like, look, sing about being a hippie, do all your music, do all your art, like all that visually cool shit. But pay your goddamn taxes. Well, taxation is theft, but if we're gonna have them, pay your goddamn taxes. Be a productive member of society. None of this like free love, hippy dippy gay shit.
Saying, hey man, everyone's like unique and we should all do what we want, bro.
We should just, like,
and at
hug,
that
bro.
stage, they have a tendency to get rid of the rule.
So here's the thing. Roosevelt wasn't wrong to do that, Fab. Roosevelt wasn't wrong to do that. However, what has happened is we now have several of those government programs that were supposed to be temporary for the Depression almost 100 years ago, still in place today, and it's a drain on our resources. It's a drain on our resources. It is a drain on our entire system, and they've only gotten worse as time goes on. So the fact that what he did in the moment had good effects and it was a good idea, because government always makes things worse and expands the power, it has led to far more net negatives in the long run.
At this stage, and then all of the new people who are born, because everyone's born at stage 1, they don't have any rules to learn to grow up to the next.
Yes, Lincoln is the most overrated president. Lincoln was basically like, people want to call Trump a fascist. Lincoln practically was. Lincoln was a dictator.
Stages, and it causes developmental arrest, and people get stuck down here. That's what we're experiencing right now. So this is not moving beyond the rules, it's just getting rid of them. Way back at the beginning of my channel, somebody asked me, why is promiscuity bad? I didn't even have colored pencils yet. There's the old version of the drawing. I think she thought she got me. I don't think she expected this as an answer. So this perception has become really common. And ironically, it's coming from a really high level of development. What they're saying is that we should all be allowed to do what we truly want and be who we are, and society's rules are just holding us back from our true selves. And that might be true if both you and your partner or partners are at this level, but that's really, really rare. So if you are a young person growing up and you hear that message.
And this also applies on like a societal level as well, not just like on an individual level, like one-to-one. It's also like culturally and societally.
That society is just holding us back from what we really want.
And this is the reason, what I was talking about before with incompatible cultures. It's like the culture isn't like quite at the same level yet. So like the idea that you can just like flood like one culture with like people of another culture and that it would be like equally compatible, it's just wrong.
It is wrong, but it's also intentional. Like, and I think Leaflit knows this. Now, yes, it's wrong, but this doesn't happen naturally. It is done by people in power. It's done by institutions. It's done intentionally for destabilization purposes, so they can destroy what we have.
Fire Ages, thank you so much for the 100. Speaking of psyops, did you see Nick Fuentes is voting Democrat?
You're not going to hear it at this level because you are not there yet. You're going to hear that message at the level that you are on, and it's going to sound like everyone else is trying to get their own way, and so I'm going to get mine. And the more that gets reinforced, the more you stay stuck, unable to learn the belonging and cooperation skills that are necessary to keep moving up the ladder. In other words, if you want people to develop to these higher stages, which we do, they have to learn the rules before they can break them. Like if you want to do bike tricks, you have to start with the basics. You want to be a jazz
The problem is not everybody can actually develop. Like, so the idea that we want everybody to develop up in like their level of thinking is just not possible.
She is correct. There's absolutely a skill ceiling for all this stuff. Some people are retarded, right? Like some people, their life was like they're brought into this world, and they will never amount to being like doing more than digging ditches, and that is fine because we need those people. I need the motherfucker that's gonna give me my McDonald's McDouble cheeseburger, but I also need that motherfucker to be developed just enough to know that when I say plain with no bun, it's goddamn plain with no fucking bun, right? So whatever your skill ceiling is, yeah, we need to try. We need to make it an equal. Let's see what again. Equality of opportunity, not equality of outcomes, the right way to put it, but with also knowing that even that's kind of fake. Yeah, you can have on paper everyone has the same opportunity, but they really don't, because they're they're just not mentally effective enough to ever get to that.
There's like a hard cap for a lot of people.
Oligar with a 5-banger. Heaven and Hell said it best. If you listen to Fool, the mob rules. It's facts. It's based. Also good Heaven and Hell reference. Like me some Dio. Well done. This for you, homie.
Name one word that starts with G pronounced like J. Gentrification. Shoot, should have thought of that. I was just in San Francisco.
Shout out. Appreciate you. Heaven and Hell's underrated.
Whether that's some kind of issue of just straight up capability, or if it's like a limiter that is placed on themselves, like through whatever reason, cultural, like some kind of mental issue. Like there's a lot of things that can like cause like somebody to cap out. And that doesn't mean that they're not capable of like actually like moving up, but it's very difficult for them to like actually.
No, it literally means they're not capable of moving up. It literally means they're not capable of moving up. That's why it's a skill ceiling. Some people will never get to a certain point, and that's fine.
Do that. And then there's some people that they're just incapable. So it's kind of like hardware incapable.
To these higher stages, which we do, they have to learn the rules.
From mob rules, not Heaven and Hell.
Before they can break them. Like if you want to do bike tricks, you have to start with the basics. You want to be a jazz musician, start with hot cross buns. So again, this message, it's saying why bother learning the rules before breaking them, and it's leaving a lot of people stuck. And then those stuck people will not be able to keep civilization functioning.
Yeah.
We have known this for a long time. Back in the 12th century,
the problem is like people don't like to okay, so here's the problem, right? And this is kind of what he's talking about, is that idea that I said, the idea that some people are incapable, the idea that not everything is compatible is inherently against the belief system of like the level 6 people. So like that makes it incredibly difficult for them to understand. Which
it's against their belief system because they've been fed these lies that made them believe that they can get to certain levels that they were not mentally capable of doing. Like this is a belief system that was reinforced into them through treacherous means by people in power, institutions, whatever it may be, to make them think they're better than they are. Basically, you've got a group of diabolical evil geniuses grooming midwits into thinking that they can also be geniuses.
Which is kind of weird because if you think about it, it's understandable like quite a lot easier to people that are more tribal, right?
What up, love it?
To people that are more like, oh, me. It's easier to understand for those people than it is to understand for the hand-holding people.
I named Salahuddin Ayyubi liberator of Jerusalem. That's probably debatable, but he sounds important. He said, if you want to destroy any nation without war, make adultery or nudity common in the young generation.
Where's the lie? Like, again, this doesn't say to make it, like, forced. Doesn't mean to say to make it, or say make it illegal. It says to make it common. You have to make it socially acceptable. The law is irrelevant. What is socially common? Like, let's be real. Who in the chat jaywalks? Every single fucking person in this chat jaywalks, assuming you leave your goddamn house. It's common. Doesn't matter that it's technically illegal.
Sound familiar? This is from a website called Muslim Skeptic, and they need your support. Apparently, relying on Allah is not working out. The Muslim world is very much concentrated at this level right now, the rules and roles level, the control of self and others through faith and discipline level, the fundamentalism level, and that's because they experienced their own collapse a few centuries ago. I just spoke to Rudyard Lynch of What If Alt Hist about this. Check out his channel. And he explained to me that history does not work like this. It's not, feminism was invented yesterday and now everyone's going to be happy forever. There really are a lot of fluctuations between feminine and masculine control of society, and if you get too far in either direction, things get bad. And the Islamic world went
in like the Islamic countries, you have it too far in the other way.
Far in this direction and had an overcorrection, and now they are still hanging out up here. Some of this even happened recently. This was Iran in the 70s, and so was this. They look like they're from Wisconsin. That was before the Iranian Revolution. And let's not forget Afghanistan, then and now. So this lie that the more feminist things get, the happier everyone's gonna be, it just is not real life. In reality, hyper-feminization causes its own problems, and the reaction hyper-feminization causes its own problem.
No man under an 8 is a person. Bro, that's wild. Like, and feminists think like this. They have got dual ideologies going on. Not only do they think that no man under an 8 isn't a person, but they also think the 8s, the 9s, the 10s aren't people. They're just pieces of meat that they can use for their pleasure because in their mind, men have done that to them for the entirety of human history. So they've got two contradicting models up there and they don't even realize it. It's amazing.
And the reaction might not be fun. What are these problems caused by glorious feminist freedom? Well, as women become liberated from men, which means getting materials that men produce without having to marry them, women experience a greater ability to choose, and they no longer have to settle for someone who is exactly on her level. Women become more free to pursue somebody who might have a full dance card.
Yeah, and what this leads to, right, again, is, like he said, a case where a smaller percentage of men are able to exploit a larger amount of women, whereas before it was, you know, it was kind of like one woman to like one man.
But here's the thing: men exploiting women isn't a bad thing. Men exploiting women isn't a bad thing at all because men are smart, so we can do it better. When we exploit women, shit gets done. When women exploit men, shit don't get done. Just that's the reality.
Typically, right, and like kind of in a lifelong scenario. But with a lot more of the choice and the freedom, now you have it kind of stacked. Where
I'm only half joking, mind you.
One hyper successful man can just have like multiple women.
Might not be interested in anything long term. This matches the results we get from dating apps. Women seem not to be very interested in most men, at least not until women get to know those men. This more equitable style of pairing off is what happens in tight-knit communities. But those tight-knit communities come from living at this level, where the mentality is to do what is right in order to get what is good in life. Nobody wants to do that anymore. They'd rather do what they want. People who live at this level look Amish to us now. We are.
So the idea of do what is right to get what is good, that is what America used to be. Like, just in the numbers bear this out. You can just look at our birth rates, you look at our marriage rates, you look at our divorce rates, you look at the overall happiness rates, you look at our financial rates. This was the common sentiment amongst this country now it ebbed and flowed. Like, obviously it ebbed and flowed, but this was the normal way of looking at the world. But then we started noticing that people could get ahead by not doing it. And then once everyone started noticing that and everyone decided to follow the footsteps of, well, they're doing it, so I'll do it. That's why you've got a collapse. Like, a few cheaters and liars and stealers are going to get through and they're going to make that bag and they're going to get away with it. But if everyone's trying to do it, once again, it's kind of a resource drain. It's a resource drain when everyone is lying and cheating and stealing their way to the top, only to realize that there's nothing at the top because now what used to be at the top was spread out amongst everybody lying, cheating, and stealing. It's like the lottery. If the lottery's a $10 million jackpot, one person wins it, they get $10 million. If everybody wins it, you get like $3.
Are therefore no longer bound together. It's every man for himself. And when people do what they want, that's level 3 here, instead of doing what their community wants for them, doing what is right according to the rules and roles of your culture, people no longer form or remain in the...
What's interesting about that is you have a lot of people at level 6 imposing... Oh my god, this actually happens, like, this is actually happening in real time. So you have people on level 6 trying to control people in level 3, right? And so, but what happens is when level 3 then outnumbers level 6 and they attain the same amount of power, when the power reaches balance, or not balance, but over tips, where the level 3 people who the level 6 people were originally controlling, when the level 3 people gain enough power, then they fuck over all the level 6 people. And that's kind of, I think, what you're seeing in like the UK right now.
I'm so glad that's what, because I was going to say, oh, you mean like the Muslims in the UK? But there you go. She said it. I know if she was going to say it, I know that's the route she was going to go, or that's the connection she was going to make, but she is correct. Yes. That is why you were seeing the complete and utter Muslim take over the UK. She said it in a real roundabout way, but she's right.
Soon to be here. Very soon. It's like a preview. The UK thing is a preview.
I just said that when talking about that other video. Leaflit, my girl, I loves you.
Preview. Soon. But it kind of tracks with that, right?
Do what they want, that's level 3 here, instead of doing what their community wants for them, doing what is right according to the rules and roles of your culture. People no longer form or remain in these stable and equitable relationships because there's no social or cultural pressure to do so. It takes a village. They just go, I'm not happy because
the planet.
My wife, about 3 or 4 years ago, left. I think we're 3.5 years ago, left. That was her exact words. Her exact words. I'm just not happy anymore. Like, bitch, the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Dude is exactly correct. This is how that feminine warfare works. It was those exact words. Sorry, but you guys to understand, you don't get to be happy all the time. No one does. That's not how the fucking real world works.
Let's increase the number of level 3s to seize control. Yes, but see, here's the problem with that. You know what this kind of reminds me of? This is like almost like, and I'm not trying to say that like level 3 people are demons, but it's almost like the story of like the person who's like trying to summon a demon.
Fabs, is she happy now, I wonder? Don't know, don't fucking care.
And they're trying to summon all of these demons for themselves, right? To order them to do what they want. But then the demons just end up eating.
But I will tell you this, Fab. I will tell you this. I am. And that's what really matters, right? I am.
Eating them. And now the demons are in control. You know, I'm not, again, I'm saying just like it's from a literary perspective, right?
Really?
It's the turning on the summoner, right? Where they're trying to weaponize. They're like, oh, we'll just summon a bunch of level 3 people and then we can control them. And
what's funny is that Islam is basically just a do whatever the fuck you want religion. No, it is not. No, it is not. Well, Christianity has moral rules. Look at the UK now, pedophiles. So here's the thing. You are confusing do whatever the fuck you want with morals of different cultures not aligning. Islam is not a do whatever the fuck you want religion. It is a very tightly controlled, very rule-oriented, very strict religion. But the rules and whatnot that they have do not morally align with what Christianity has and with what our society has. Christianity is actually the far less restrictive religion.
And actually the funny...
And that's not a defense of Islam. It's just important to get that correct. Like, that's because you're just factually inaccurate about Islam.
Thing is, you can actually sort of see this happening kind of in real time. Because they did this. This is why they got so mad at South Americans, right? Like during the election, because a lot of South Americans, they I guess they underestimated like the level of thought that the South Americans were at, and they assumed that they were at a lower level of thought. So when they got a bunch of South Americans. And then they were like, wait a minute, how come they're not voting for us? And then they got super pissed, right? And they started saying, oh, like these like South Americans are so stupid, right? And they started saying that. Like, it's basically the same thing I'm talking about.
Relationships because there's no social or cultural pressure to do so. It takes a village. They just go, I'm not happy because everyone's going to be not happy at some point in a relationship, and you need something to keep you together. Without that, people just...
And you know what does that? Swip back of the hand. No, I'm joking. But Maybe. We'll come back to that thought.
Bail out into this mess where there's no social or cultural oversight. And when that happens, when nobody is keeping your relationship together, then everybody tries to just do the best that they can, and that gives very lopsided results because men who are very high in demand will often sleep with women who are not very high in demand, and
the other unintended result, right? So there's like two really bad results from this, and again, that's the a smaller group of men having.
Michael Doberman coming in with a 10-banger. Amanda cheated when we had a farm and rental property that paid for everything. We had a lot of work to do. Now she has to work 2 jobs and our daughter won't allow her her wedding. Karma. Oh, that hurts so good. Look at that. Let's read that again, boys. Let's read that again with the full screen. Amanda cheated. We had a farm and a rental property that paid for everything. We had a lot of work to do. Now she has to work 2 jobs and our daughter won't allow her at the wedding. Karma. You love to fucking see it, son.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
That's that good shit right there, baby. Shout out, thank you for the 10-banger, Michael.
Control over like more women. That's one of the bad results. The other bad result is that you have a bunch of other men that have no grounding, especially when you take away like religion on top of that. Now you have a bunch of men that are not bound by duty, and that kind of leads to really bad things in society.
it just doesn't work the other way around. Like Taylor Swift is not out here picking up guys who work at McDonald's. So promiscuity is bad.
But what if she was, though? What if she was? That would probably also be a bad thing. Like, if Taylor Swift was out there picking up the dude that works at McDonald's, that would probably also lead to a societal collapse just in the opposite direction. Because you'd have a bunch of nothing dudes, a bunch of 2s and 3s and 4s hooking up with 10s that are women. And then, like, they're going to be lazy, they're going to be provided for. Like, nah. You got a 2-level range, okay? You got a 2-level range. If you were 5, you cap out at 7s, or you settle for 3s. If you're a 7, you cap out at 9s, you settle for 5s. So on and so forth. Now, if you're one of the real lucky ones that somehow you're a 5 and you get yourself an 8, a 9, a 10, something like that, you better, and this is for a guy or a girl, you better work your ass off to maintain, and more than that, you better better yourself, because you can raise your number. You can raise your number. You could be a 5, but you can drop to a 3 if you're a fat, slovenly piece of shit that doesn't ever want to fucking work and spends all your time partying or being lonely or gooning or whatever it might be. Or you could be a 5. You could raise yourself to a 7 when you learn, like, I don't know, roll some nice charisma scores, watch some Charisma on Command, learn how to fucking talk to people, get in shape, hit the gym, stuff, get a decent paying job. You can elevate your number. But for whatever reason, you a fucking loser at one level, and like you're a 5 and you got an 8 or a 9, you better work real goddamn hard to improve your number because, and again, this is a man or woman thing.
Because it means do what I want. And doing what you want means that nobody has any say over whether or not you stay in your marriage.
Yeah, I used to watch as well. It was a great channel.
But you. So as soon as it feels bad, you're going to leave and you're going to jump into this disaster where you're going to go look.
That's what I meant by no fault divorce.
For the best you can get, and you're gonna convince yourself
not only that, it's also like a kind of cultural shift that happened where people started saying, oh, if you're even slightly unhappy with that thing, you deserve more, you deserve to like live life more. And then that caused people to have to put less value on the loyalty and the trying to make things work aspect. Because why try to make things work when you can just live for you?
This guy almost married you, even though he would never be seen with you in public. And then you're going to get your heart broken so many times that you're just going to start hating men. And you're going to go, all men are the same. All men, even though you're only talking about these men. And these men down here are so completely detached from society and hopeless that they don't have any reason to contribute to society at all.
And then,
everything falls up.
That's right. So now that they have no reason.
No, they don't, JT Vega. Stop that lie. JT Vegas says fat chicks need love too. No, they don't. Fat chicks need to work the fuck out, eat a salad, get a better personality, and shut the fuck up. Same for fat dudes. Ain't just a woman thing. Same for fat dudes. Fat people in general don't deserve love.
And to contribute to society, all sense of duty is stripped from those men, and then that's when you have societal collapse.
Part because nobody is building. So in terms of development, these people who are a small percentage of the population but tend to be very powerful because they're smarter and richer, they're saying we should be allowed to do what we want as long as we don't hurt anyone, and that message is heard by these people as
Harm reduction principle is cancer. It's so easy to debunk. Anyone that believes in harm reduction principle is retarded. Like, you can do whatever as long as no one gets hurt. Define hurt. Okay, define hurt. You mean that someone's not getting stabbed or punched in the face or whatever? Okay, yeah, that's immediate harm. But harm reductionist individuals almost never account for long-term harm.
This is actually kind of compounded a little bit too, because in a lot of modern society, smarter and richer, that doesn't necessarily mean they understand things in the world work, especially when you have parents, right? You have a case where people are kind of taken care of for a much longer period of their life, right? You have people that are still kind of like, what's the word? Still parental dependent, like at an older age, right?
a small percentage of the population.
I'm not saying that you like your parents and that's a bad thing to like actually spend time with your parents. But I'm saying that it's the dependency, the full dependency, like financially.
But tend to be very powerful because they're smarter and richer. They're saying we should be allowed to do what we want as long as we don't hurt anyone. And that message is heard by these people as we should be allowed to do what we want. And they don't hear the second part. And that leaves more and more people stuck down here, unable to ever learn how to not make everything about themselves. And that
because there's no consequences, and consequences is actually what forces people. Like any
It's not there's no consequences. I would say a lot of times there are consequences. Now, and to be fair, I will listen to Leaflit's explanation because maybe she's going to say something similar to me. Thing is, there are consequences, but people are, specifically women, are in denial about these consequences, right? Woman says or does something retarded. Man leaves her for it. Man chastises her for it, whatever it may be. And this can work in the opposite. It just seems more common with women. And, you know, it ruins the relationship. Dude leaves her or it chastises her, whatever. Or you even go the literal route. Like, woman hits a dude, so he hits her back. Again, consequences are a thing. But women will always try and weasel out of the consequences, right? They don't like the reality of consequences. And there's enough pussy-ass simp dudes out there that will justify these women's denial of consequences, even though they know that consequences should exist, as a sick attempt to try and get their dick wet. That's what it is. And again, technically it works the other way around as well. But not near as often, and it rarely happens with, like, two dudes who are friends or whatnot, or even if they're not friends, because dudes keep each other in check way better.
Sort of, like, I really think this is the case, is that any sort of growth in terms of, like, your mental, what's the word for it? Your mental software. Like, any sort of growth that involves your mental software is typically, due to conflict, some kind of conflict that happens that causes it. And I don't necessarily mean like PvP conflict, but just some kind of thing that happens in your life.
Nah, PvP conflict does do shit to you. PvP conflict really can teach a motherfucker a lesson.
That like kind of shakes things up and it like forces you to adapt to it. Right, which is why I said like if you think that you're perfect and that like you can never do wrong, then it's impossible for you to grow because you never have that conflict that forces you to evolve.
is a bad thing. So it's not controversial to say that promiscuity is increasing.
Correct,
What
Fab,
is
yes,
controversial
fuckers,
is
yep.
how much and why it matters. But all the bad things you would expect to see are there. The birth rate is dismal. People are getting married later than ever. Rudyard told me that once that number reaches 28, it's bad news. So we might be stuck. The increase in single motherhood is not good for children. We've known that for a long time. And
Not long. All of human history. When you look back through the annals of human history, even back to like the goddamn Egyptian days and the Mesopotamia days, we more or less are the same then as we are now. Now, I get it. You know, so you use that caveman bonking bitches on the head and then fucking a lot of them so they could, you know, make a lot of babies and whatnot. That's theory. Technically, we wouldn't even know that. But in reality, the majority of human history, we knew that one man, one woman, make things happy, make people happy, make society grow. Right? It's very simple. And because we've evolved for this to be the case. This is evolution at work. These people that deny this are denying basic evolution. Living for pleasure and whatnot. It's very reptile brain shit. Like, no. If you... Anyway, I had another point I was going to make, but I'll wait for a moment. I want to see if it gets talked about here.
Psychiatric medication rates are spiking amid ongoing uncertainty.
So this is like a whole fucking death spiral, because now that you have that thing happening, now you have that fucking up the next generation of kids, because then the next generation of kids aren't getting like the proper like raising, so then they become more fucked up, and then like they become adults, they fuck up everything, and it's just this big fucking
Again,
death
I'm
spiral.
pretty certain that it...
Now, I wouldn't say it's a death spiral, because eventually things get so whittled down and so fucked up that it gets rebuilt the proper way. It's kind of like the boat theory. You know, you got a boat, you replace a piece of wood, is it still the same boat? And then you have to replace another, and replace another. And eventually, at some point, the entire boat's replaced. Is it the same boat? At what point does it stop being the same boat? Very similar to kids and children and generations. Like, yes, this has been a progressive issue. It's really started amongst, like, the boomer era. And it's just gotten worse and worse. But eventually, you'll have a collection of kids that are now adults that have grown up in a society that's so ridiculous. They'll basically come to the ideas and conclusions of how to fix it, and it'll restart the process, and it'll eventually drop off again. And like everything else, it'll ebb and flow.
It is the breakdown of society. When you switch from this to this, all of these guys and pretty much all women become less happy, and the only winners are just these guys up here who have all the options in the world, which is kind of funny because
The only way to win is to stop playing this game on the right and just play this game on the left. That's the only way to win.
over here you were...
And that's the only time doing something on the left makes any sense.
The whole
You have to personally commit to not. You have to personally commit to not participating.
Feminism thing was like, men are winning, let's switch to this. Now it's just less men winning. So once again, in short, these people at this level,
Because you can't do anything. You can't do anything about the people that are gonna do that. They're gonna do it. You can't do anything about it. Like that ship has already sailed. Like that Pandora's box has already been opened. You have to on yourself take like your own personal responsibility. It's all you can do. And you can try to like help people. Like
Yeah, Mervot, this is my very first home math video. Michael Doberman for a 5-banger. When you have a husband and wife team, you can plan for the future because you know if shit goes down, it'll be temporary. You will fight together. And that's how it should be. That's why when women deuce out because I'm not happy or whatnot, and again, dudes do it too. I feel like I have to keep making the qualification. Especially like, you see a lot when a woman gets pregnant, guy will bounce the fuck out. Yeah. Let's not pretend that, like, women are the only problem here. But in all reality, you do see it in married couples or long-term couples. You do see it more on the woman's side. The idea that the whole doing it together, doing it forever, hey, shit's gonna get rough, and then they peace out. That's more one side than the other. But yes, in theory, what you were describing is exactly correct. 100%, Michael. Truly based, truly appreciated. This clip's for you.
Like, I don't think humans were meant to see sissy hypno inflation compilations.
But hey, by the way, did you know that I suck dick as a man? I lick the ass of other men. But really quick, I lick the balls of a man.
Shout out, homie. Thank you for the 5-banger.
you can kind of like say things and help people like move along that way. But then there's no way for you to really force people to do it.
Individualist types. They wanted to move beyond the rules and live their best lives. And they were foolish enough to believe that everybody could do that, which is false. They can't. So instead of working within the rules, they just got rid of them, and when you do
You want the link to the video? Yeah, sure. I usually give it out at the end, but if you're going to bed, I'll send it out now.
that, everything collapses. So what is the solution? Well, we have to get away from this model where people do what feels good in the moment and back to this model where people make decisions that are good for them and the long term and good for their communities. But how are we going to do that if everybody is still stuck down here? We don't have any structure anymore. All of the messaging coming from media and universities and culture, it's all saying you are a special, unique individual and nobody should be able to tell you what to do. And
fun fact, most people are not special, unique individuals. Very few are. There are some special, unique individuals out there. All right? Like, people that... Elon Musk is a very special, unique individual. No one can do what he does, or at least very few can. Hitler was a special, unique individual. For better or worse, it's true. Genghis Khan, special, unique individual. Most people aren't special, unique fucking individuals. Just get in line. Get with the program.
so nobody is learning the basics of how to be a part of something that works. It's me, me, me. That's what's killing us. Now, on the other hand, China has actually increased its marriage rate for the first time in 9 years. How did they manage?
El Mervat for a two-banger. The media is to blame the media is to blame. I assume you mean for so much of this BS. And yes, it is. The media is to blame for a lot of this bullshit. Absolutely agree. Thanks for the two-banger, homie. Appreciate you.
That, well, the government has been campaigning to promote marriage. What does that look like? Well, I'm not sure, but I know what it doesn't look like. I have referred to this phenomenon of women going after guys who won't commit as being stuck on her highest setting. It's also called being an alpha widow. It's when she remembers one guy forever who no one else can ever measure up to, and she dreams of being with him even though he's not coming back. Cultivating that attitude is central to this collapse. So I'm going to finish my point with just a few examples of what this does to the minds of Western women. Yes, even grandma. These are all just TikToks that I collected over time. They were all very popular. This is what women are saying to each other. Here we go. Celebrity crush. She says, all that work and what did it get me? Because she pulled her celebrity crush and doesn't like regular people anymore. So
deranged. Pulled your celebrity crush. Now you're not related to regular people. Deranged.
She pulled her celebrity crush, but could not keep him because she's not at his level. And now that is her new highest setting. He's all she can think about, and normal guys don't do it anymore. For more information, watch Pull. Here's another. She's singing Gotta Whisper 'Cause I Can't Be Too Loud. She says this even though she posted it to the internet. She knows she's gonna drunk call the guy she really wants at her bachelorette party. I made this video a while.
You know, he brought that China thing, right? He brought that China thing. I bring this up all the time, but I'm going to bring it up again. One of my best friends in the world got himself a Chinese wife. One of my best friends in the world got himself a Chinese wife. Now, to be fair, they got married in their early 30s. So, you know, a little late to the party. And she'd been in America since she was 15. So, you know, she's got quite good American values instilled in her. She is not a fan of China. She's ethnically Chinese, but at the end of the day, she is American. She's awesome. Great couple. They're both awesome people. I adore them to death. But, like, in all reality, even though she's full of American values, good American values, because she went to a southern, she went to a southern home raised by white people, went to church every Sunday. But I bet there's some of that Chinese female subservience in there. If I had to wager a guess, there's some of that Chinese female subservience in there. I wouldn't doubt my homie takes advantage of that. And good on him for doing so.
Back about a guy who proposed to a girl twice, and she said no twice, but she still wanted to be with him. And he got frustrated and said, what is she waiting for? And the answer was probably another guy who she wanted to come back and replace this one, even though he was...
Rip Leon. Why Rip Leon? Oh, that was a great story.
Is never gonna do that. And she already knows this is her in 10 years at her bachelorette party. Here's a girl who has to say goodbye to her type because she wants to be treated like a princess. So in order to get out of this area and into this area, she knows she has to settle for less, even though this guy is not her type.
She's gonna beat me up? Nah, they live in a different state, so it's cool. They live in a different state, so it's good. Now, being Chinese, she might know Kung Fu. So maybe she could beat me up. I don't know. Because she might like be a ninja or some shit that I don't know about. But I'll flip that coin.
Type. Here's another marriage one. She's planning to leave a man at the altar if her old buddy comes back. This one's harsh. Something she's not ashamed of is she will always choose her ex-situationship over anyone that thinks they have me. That is brutal. She would...
You know what I'm realizing? These are the women under Madam Savvy's posts that fucking hate her and think that she is secretly a dude. Because you see it all the time. If you follow Madam Savvy on X, you see this all the time. They think that she is a fake account, that she's really a dude, despite the fact she's been like happily married for years and all that. Now, don't get me wrong, she's a troll. Not looks-wise, like she's a pretty gal, but like, she's a goblin, you know, like, she a wackadoo. In all the most endearing ways. But the point is, because she understands these women, because she is a woman, her words hurt even more and are more scathing than coming from dudes like me or like Homath or whatever, because they desperately want someone like Savvy on their side. Savvy, Madam Savvy. Hold on. If you don't follow her, I'll find her X account. One sec. Here we go. Yeah, Madam Savvy. Yeah, Flora Goblin, but she's a great person. Exactly. She is autistic as fuck, but she is quite hilarious.
Would drive 2 hours to see him and can't commit to a good guy because of him. You should be ashamed of that. Here's a girl skipping through the snow who's single but not really because she's loyal to the guy who won't text her back because he has better options. Same drawings over and over. Let's speed this up. On my way to engagement party.
Is she literally autistic or is that a meme? I'm gonna be real. I'm pretty sure she's literally autistic. And I like, she's the best kind of autistic because she's mostly capable of being socially fucking normal. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like, yeah, nobody's smoking. Yeah, she's an autist. I'm pretty sure she's actually fucking autistic.
Party, thinking of my ex, running back over and over. Let's speed this up. On my way to
my engagement party, thinking of my ex. She posted this on the internet. She posted this on the internet to where hypothetically her boyfriend could see it. Like, what sort of just emotional creature, like emotion thief creature could post this? And what's worse is the dude would probably be like, it's okay, I understand. Like, he'd be a bitch about it. Nah, you end it with this hoe. I don't care if your wedding was $15,000 fucking dollars. It's gonna be a $15,000 lesson to never date sluts like this.
engagement party, thinking of my ex, running back to a man who hurt her before. Ha 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 ha, wee! How could the known player have played me too? I'm so shocked. Forcing herself to go out with a good guy while waiting for the toxic one.
Almost all girls have that one guy that no matter what, if he were to text her at any point, she would be like, yes, let's be together. Like, there's always that one guy. I don't know, it's either history or like he just is everything she wants, and they're probably not together and they probably don't even chit chat. But the minute that he texts her, she's like, yeah, of course. I would leave anyone for him.
I was talking to my therapist about...
Tell you what, yeah, the therapist that probably enables all of your dog shit, god-awful, worst tendencies, because, look, therapy is not inherently bad, But about 70% of therapists are nothing but enablers telling you it's okay to feel the way. No, sometimes it's not okay to feel the way you feel. Sometimes the things you're feeling aren't valid. You're just a fucking loser. You're just an emotional vampire. El Murvat for a two-banger coming in. Never said, the thing never said, imagine if dudes did this. Thing never said before. Imagine if dudes did this. Shout out, Murvat. Thank you for the two-banger, homie. Yes, I would say that the vast majority of therapists are enablers. Yes.
My man who's not my man but is my man, and she's like, okay, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but can I see a picture of him? And she pauses and goes, okay, get it.
Exhibit the fuck A. This dumb broad who is probably, fucking this dude way out of her league. Ugly ass face, all forehead, fake ass lips, makeup, probably doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Is at a therapist, and it's another fucking female therapist, of course. And the female therapist says, oh yeah, no, I get it. After seeing a picture of the dude. Take away that broad's license. Take away the broad's license. She don't get to be a therapist no more.
I see why we're in this situation. She starts like cracking up and she's like, he's really hot. I'm like, I know! Score!
We all have that one like situationship. It wasn't even someone we dated, but it's like a situationship that we now compare everyone else to. And I mean that in a sense of like, you had a situationship with someone, like you bonded so well, you never actually dated, you guys never actually had a title or anything, but like they changed how you view romantic partners.
Hold on.
And so now it's like
I wonder if that's I wonder if there's like a biochemical reason for that, right? Because like that is an actual
I want y'all to think about I'll hit that super chat in a sec. I want y'all to think about what Leaflit just said here. I'm gonna roll this back.
I wonder if there's like a biochemical reason for that, right? Because
Leaflit basically just said, I wonder if there's a biological reason why women are retarded.
I wonder if there's like a biochemical reason for that, right?
Does woman have brain make dumb? I fucking love Leaflit. Oh my god. Alright, Michael Dodeman with a 5-banger. $15,000 wedding. I had a catering company. I was a DJ in the 2010s. That is extreme low end, not counting flowers, dresses, and hotels for family. Man, I don't know. My wedding wasn't no $15,000 fucking dollars. Now our honeymoon was about 10. I think our wedding was like 3. Maybe. I don't even think it was that. I think our wedding was probably between 2,000 and 3,000. But our honeymoon was like 10K, so I can't say much. If that's the low end, that's insane, bro. If that's the low end, that is ridiculous. Either way, thank you so much for the 5-banger, homie. Truly appreciate it. This is for you.
Call it whatever, but if I made $1 for each time I made a racist joke, I would actually have $0. 'Cause I'm not joking.
I clipped it before the end. I didn't mean to. Oh well, let's keep going.
Because like that is an actual thing. That's an actual thing. Is especially for women, that there's like a biochemical like bonding that occurs like in relationships. I wonder if it's related to that.
you talk to someone new and it's like, yeah, but they're not blank. They're not them. They're not this. They're not that. And you don't even mean to do it, but it's just like, it naturally, like you naturally just think like, damn, like no one can compare.
Right. No one who wants you can compare to men who don't want you. And in case you're hoping they grow out of it, just read that. And in case you're gonna say not all women are like that, I love my guesses and feelings. May I refer you to the movie Titanic? Nothing on Earth could come between them except for temperature. If you haven't seen Titanic, here's a timeline. It's about an old lady on her deathbed who had a long, full life with kids, grandkids, marriage, all the stuff.
She's
and
still thinking
all that
about
she can
that
talk
dude,
about
yeah.
is the one time that a homeless guy f***ed her on a boat. Box office
But it's a very well-made movie, guys, to be fair. Like, it is a very well-made movie. I like Titanic, but he's not wrong.
MASH. Do you see this blue line? That's Titanic. It beat Avatar. It beat Jurassic World.
In my defense, I thought the movie was shit.
I don't know why that's there, but you
What up,
see how
Comatose
these
Jedi?
lines kind of die out, and this one keeps going. That's how much women love the guy who is never coming back. They prefer him to the guy who proposed twice. I have been the guy who's never coming back. There are girls I could have called whenever I wanted. I didn't want to.
No. That movie was shit. Okay, this is
Okay, Titanic is not shit. Titanic is a good movie. But again, he's right. It's not even kinda. He's right.
This is peak romance for me right here. Okay, this is the peak romance right here for me. All right, Titanic was ass.
And that
DMCA, of fucking course.
Is what they do not understand. They think we almost got married. No, you didn't. You were either forgettable or for now. That's where this diagram comes from. They all think that they almost got this guy, and that's why they don't want to settle for someone exactly like them. And that is what happens when you let people do what they want instead of making them do what is right. Prioritizing your selfish lower urges, what do I want, causes social decay. It's as simple as that.
Yep, that's a pretty good video. Yeah, I totally understand that. I get it.
Legendary. What a legendary way to end the stream. Well done, Leaflit. What a gem that woman is. Gosh, she's great. Alrighty, there's the link. Like it up. I don't really have any final follow-up thoughts to add. I said quite a bit of really everything I meant during that video. Yes, feminism ruined the world. Feminism's a disease. Feminism's a cancer. And I guess before we go, we'll watch the new Harry Potter trailer. Because I told you guys we would. Before we go, we'll watch the HBO Harry Potter trailer. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone official teaser. Don't tell me it's not available for me. Shut the fuck up, YouTube. Here we go. Now, I'll preface this, guys. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I used to be a Harry Potter fan. I used to actually be a big Harry Potter fan. Like, this was my formative years, baby. I was in elementary school when these movies came out. Or books came out. I read them. I love the movies, played the games. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube. That shit was awesome. Loved me some Harry Potter. Hey, shout out Jumbo loves you. Thank you for the 2 bangers. Says great lunch stream. I'm happy to do it, bro. And we'll be back tomorrow for the long stream. My voice holds out. Anyway, I loved Harry Potter. And you want to know what took me away from Harry Potter? Fangirls. Fangirls, dude. Fangirls wouldn't shut the fuck up. You go into a Barnes & Noble and you hear some teeny bopper girl in like spaghetti straps with a pullback blonde ponytail talking about how much they love Severus Snape. Couldn't do it, man. It's not about Harry Potter anymore. But let's see what's going down in this here town.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one.
You know what? I will say there's something the movie skipped that they're already showing here. That Dudley Dursley would get his friends together to bully like Harry at school and on trips and stuff. We never saw Harry at school in the movies. They are already pulling him over in the books.
You think you're something special? There is nothing special about you.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
I don't like the framing of this. I don't like how they're making it look like a prestige TV show, right? Kind of like that Game of Thrones vibe, or just something. I get it's HBO, and they've got the budget, they've got the money, they go big and stuff. But this music isn't fitting. The way the trailer's cut doesn't evoke magic. It doesn't evoke whimsy. And I get that Harry Potter gets darker as it goes on. It grows with its audience. But this first book was whimsical. And there was magic. And there was color. And I'm not getting that from this trailer.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever.
I don't mind Nick Frost's look as Hagrid. I don't like the voice. I don't like the voice. Like, let's roll this back. Hagrid should sound unintelligent. He's not unintelligent, but he's effectively a Hogwarts dropout hermit who, you know, he's got street smarts, not book smarts, more often than not. This makes him sound too smart.
Bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever. And they stood up for what they believed was right. The next time I see you, we'll be in Hogwarts.
Yeah, I don't like the way they're doing Hagrid. His look is fine. I don't like the way they're doing him. Yeah, he's too soft, Trikey, exactly. This music doesn't feel magical, man. Like, this music feels like what would be playing, like Remember the Titans or The Blind Side, Invincible. Like, it feels like a sports, a movie about like a sports triumph. You know, like Invincible or something. This music might work for a Quidditch scene, or like not a scene, but like while Quidditch is playing. But for an overall trailer, yeah, it's generic, right? It's generic.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you. I think we can expect great things from you.
Ollivander looks good. Ollivander looks pretty good. I'll give it, yeah. I like the way Ollivander looks.
You.
This feels like a build-up to a full trailer, which it is. This is just a teaser. Teasers used to be like 30 seconds. Alright, teasers used to be like 30 fucking seconds. 2 minutes is a trailer, not a teaser. 2 minutes is a full trailer. Trailers are too fucking long these days. I hate it. Alright, Crabbe and Goyle are both white. That's good. Crabbe and Goyle are both white. I like that. Malfoy looks pretty good. He doesn't look quite as punchable as Homeboy did. I don't remember his name. Tom Felton. But it's close. This looks like if Malfoy was a TikTok Gen Zer. But he's still punchable, so I kind of get it.
Let's see who you are. Let's see who you are.
Did they do herbology class in Philosopher's Stone? Maybe I just don't remember it. Nope. Jewish propaganda. Won't watch it. Jewish propaganda that is clearly a Star of David. There it is, baby. I thought transplanting the mandrake root was in Prisoner of Azkaban, the third book. Yeah, they didn't really do much herbology, if I recall. Yeah, I thought that didn't really come into the third book, but maybe I'm misremembering. Guys, this is bad. We was wizards and shit. This is bad, bros. He he doesn't look slimy. He doesn't look greasy. He doesn't even look evil. You're supposed to assume for the entire first book that Snape's the bad guy. The reveal that it's Quirrell and that Snape was trying to save him the whole time, like before we even talk about the fact that he's black, he also just doesn't look like the bad guy here. He's nice and clean cut. His fucking outfit's all tailored to him. Now, it's to be fair, it's actually very believable that Snape would be the bad guy in this version because he's black. So I get that. Yo, this is bad, guys. Holy shit, this is bad. Alright. I wasn't sure how John Lithgow would look as Dumbledore, but I love it. I do like John Lithgow's look as Dumbledore.
Are you really Harry Potter?
The main trio do look good. I wonder if they got hang spells. God damn, Vagabond. That was diabolical, son.
Stop it. Get some help.
Shout out, Vagabond. Thanks for the 5-banger. I do think the main trio looks good.
Are you really Harry Potter?
Like, that kid looks like how you would imagine Ron Weasley. Absolutely looks like how you'd imagine Ron Weasley. I know people are upsetting spaghetti that Hermione is mixed race. They cast a mixed girl. Honestly, she's white passing enough for me. To me, this looks. She's actually not quite. She has the same problem that Emma Watson had. She's actually not quite ugly enough. Like, Hermione was never like ugly, but she had like buck teeth and shit like that. This girl just looks, kind of plain, but I see it. I see the vision. Like, I get Hermione from this. I think the main trio does look good. I just have a new concern. I didn't realize until that whole thing. The Harry Potter books take place in the early to late 90s. The first book takes place in, if I recall correctly, 1990, and the final book is 1997. They better get their language and their mannerisms and stuff, because no one was doing like that in the 90s. That wasn't a thing. Thought it was 1991. Maybe the first one takes place in 1991. And maybe the last book is 1998. Point is, the whole series, even though the movies were made in the 2000s and stuff, and the books were written in the late 90s, the story is set throughout the 90s. So the kids need to act like kids would have in the 90s. We can't be throwing in all this Gen Z shit. That is a genuine concern. I'm pretty mixed on it, guys. Now, judging it as a trailer itself, that was a bad trailer. That was not a good trailer. I'm gonna be real. The music was bad. I think the pacing of the trailer was bad. I think the shots that it cut to didn't work. It was so generic. There was no whimsy. There was no fun. There was no magic. There was no happiness. But by the same token, there was some glimmers of good stuff in there. Harry, Ron, and Hermione look good. Dumbledore looks good. To be fair, Hagrid looks good, but he doesn't act like Hagrid. I have an issue with that. The acting for Hagrid, I'm not sold on. You know, it did look like he was incorporating things from the books that didn't make it to the movies. That's good. Yeah. I'll reserve judgment. I'll talk to Hypno about it, because Hypno's a huge Harry Potter fan. I'll talk to Hypno about it and get his thoughts. Yeah, Hypno a Potterhead, bro. Always has been. With that being said, it's 3:30. I'm going to wrap the show. Normally I go till like 4 or 5 on these lunch hour streams, but I need to conserve my voice. It's still going out. So yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. I think it'll be a good... Well, SNH is mostly gaming. I don't know if we're going to bring it up on SNH or not. I kind of hope so. But I think me and Hypno might be the only ones that are like, know our Potter lore. I could be wrong, but I think me and Hypno might be the only ones that's part of SNH that like know our deep cut Potter lore. And don't get me wrong, I know my deep cut Potter lore. I was obsessed with Harry Potter. I still have Harry Potter Christmas ornaments that I hang on my tree every year from like 2001 or something. But anyway, I want to say thank you to all those that showed up, showed out. This was an awesome stream. What a great way to return the lunch hour. There are 97 of you watching right now, so we better have 97 or more links, because we were in the hundreds of people watching earlier. Shout out to all of you guys that donated. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you for putting some money in the Feminists versus the Brits jar. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Leon's Lunch Hour. If you haven't watched today's video covering the Andrew Wilson situation, please watch that. I would love to get your thoughts on it. And we'll do more tomorrow. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Until next time, it's all here. Oh, I got to set up a raid. What sort of douche canoe would I be if I didn't set up a raid? Give me one moment. Let's see now. All right. We'll raid Kata. We'll raid the Foot God. You guys better show up for my show tomorrow. I'll see you on the flip-flop again. Thank you all so much, you absolute legends. Deuces.